3, 2, 1. What's up, Dave? How are you, brother?
We're live, bitches.
Yes, indeed. You wanted to say that, huh?
Yeah, well, I just
playing on it.
No.
Thanks for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, I've watched you fight a bunch of times online, and Lethwei is probably one of the most brutal combat sports in the world. And it's so interesting watching a guy like you. Are you Quebecois? Is that what you said?
You're good.
Yeah.
How's your French?
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's terrible. It's way worse than I don't know anything in French. But how do you go from Montreal to being the king of Lethwei?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a crazy journey, man. And like in a way it was. Should we go there right away?
Yeah, let's go there right away.
Basically, when I used to play baseball. I was a pitcher in Pennsylvania. I was like doing a bunch of like university baseball, traveling team, and then I got into like a fight with my father. Shout out to my father.
But fist fight with your father?
It never went physical. Oh. But it was like going very hard, and they said like both my parents said, Dave, please leave. Like you're kicked out of the house.
Whoa, how old were you?
17, 18.
Wow.
So like I had no money, and I was like almost like in the street. It was -4 Fahrenheit. So for you guys, like -20 degrees Celsius. It was like okay. I called my friend, like, come pick me up, and I couch surfed for a few months, and finally got a place, got my shit together. But then I had like a fire, you know. We didn't speak for many years. Now we actually have a good relationship now. But so then, and I believe that nothing good comes out of comfort, right? Like hardship.
Yes.
So I had a lot of, like I said, fuck baseball. I wanted to fight
because of that.
Yeah, I guess.
That's so crazy. So because of getting angry at your dad, that's what made you want to learn how to fight.
It's like resume it maybe like that a little bit. I hope he doesn't take it the wrong way. But yeah, it
worked out, so you shouldn't take it the wrong way. I mean, it all worked out well.
True. And then actually, funny enough, my first love was grappling. I did a lot of competition, like no gi. I won some like in gi, but it was mostly no gi. And then I actually had my league called the SFL. It was like a submission fight league. Once a month, I had guys organize. I was not fighting. I was just organizing it, and got the guys fighting and. Submission only, not IBJJF.
And where was this at?
In Quebec, yeah, near Montreal. So then we're doing this, and then I said my coach, my Sifu Patrick, again, shout out to my coach, I said, I never want to do anything other than grappling. He said, well, you're tall and, you know, you're good reach, maybe you should consider. I said, no, I only want to do no-gi. He's like, okay. He lets me do my shit, and then, eventually I started doing, like, I come from Sanda background, like...
Sanda, yeah. Right? Which is a style of martial arts.
Yeah, so Chinese martial arts, all the army in China does that pretty much, and it's pretty cool. So wide stance, spinning attacks, you know, and cool stuff. A lot of throws. I was actually with Kung Lee in San Jose last week.
No shit.
Yeah, we did some nice headbutt videos.
Oh, wow.
We need to do one together after.
All right.
Have you done a headbutt before?
No, not really. I've never headbutted a person.
On the pads?
I've fucked around, you know, and headbutted the bag, but just joking. I've never like I've seen your pad routines where you incorporate headbutts into the pads.
Yeah, I feel like you fight like you train. So if you don't train it, how the hell you're going to throw it in a fight? It has to become reflex. Do
a lot of people headbutt pads, or are you?
I'm teaching them now.
Oh, okay. So you originated it?
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody do it but you. I mean, I've seen people headbutt people in fights, particularly in the UFC, the early days. Like Mark Coleman, when he was the heavyweight champion, he was the godfather of ground and pound, big, gigantic wrestler, and he would take guys down and get on top of them. It didn't matter if you were in the guard. He headbutt the fuck out of you.
Yeah,
I mean, when they took away his headbutts, you know, because they changed the rules, they took away fucking 20% of his game. 20% of his game, he'd control you. And bang, bang! He'd just slam his forehead into your nose. You know, you couldn't see. Then he'd pound the shit out of you. Okay. I mean, that was one of the ways he became the champ.
Took it out from the UFC.
They took it out of the rules, which I don't totally understand why. If you can elbow in the face and the eye sockets and the nose, why can't you headbutt?
I don't know. It's because a headbutt cuts. Elbow cuts, and you actually can do way more with an elbow than a headbutt.
And so knees cut as well.
True.
Yeah, I think it should be legal.
I think so too.
Yeah.
You see, guys,
well,
you hear
obviously
it from Joe.
You do.
Yeah,
because
I'm a big proponent.
You're excellent at it. So how did you get? Explain the path to Lethwei.
Okay, so now we were basically starting to do striking. So then I do a couple fight nights, and I love it. I start fighting, but then it's illegal in Canada. You can't do like full. Even Muay Thai is illegal. So
Muay Thai is illegal in Canada.
Pro Muay Thai. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no elbows. Yeah, it's amateur.
But how come the UFC is legal?
Tell me about it.
Oh my god,
so
that's crazy.
You can do MMA, but you have to do headgear and shit for Muay Thai.
Wow.
Even in France,
shin pads.
I'm not sure, but there's no elbows guaranteed.
No elbows. So amateur Muay Thai, no elbows. Well, that's not Muay Thai then.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Even in France, I think Muay Thai, like Thai fight, when you go there, they have elbow pads.
Really?
Yep. With Sanchai was fighting with elbow pads last time.
What?
Yes, in France.
No, Sanchai with elbow pads is hilarious.
In France, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And then what else? And then basically, I went to Thailand for the first time because my friends were there, and it's just easier because Myanmar was like, for those who don't know, it used to be called Burma, and now it's Myanmar, and it was super hard to get visas and a bunch of stuff like that. So I go there. I do my first pro Muay Thai fight because then I was like partying and I was like, I want to get a fight. So they give me a fight, I win.
How much training had you done? You did Sanda and then what else?
Well, I did Sanda and grappling. And
that's it.
And MMA, yeah. But so basically, like overall,
so no Muay Thai, no.
Never did Muay Thai before my first Muay Thai fight.
What?
Yeah, it was a brawl. Man. It was
that is crazy.
It's not beautiful to watch, but yeah.
Wow, how many people could say that? I never did Muay Thai before my first Muay Thai fight. I don't know,
but I got lucky. I got a nice elbow in the clinch and cut him up right here.
So you started thinking about elbows then?
Yeah, that's my elbows now. Yeah, but like just to back up a little bit, basically my coach Sifu Pat showed me back then a black belt magazine, Burmese boxing, probably the same that you saw or something. And then I'm like, I want to do this, right? And starting watching videos, but there was nothing. It was like black and white. It was super hard to find. There was nothing about Lethwei. So I just put it on the ice. But my dream was always to go to Myanmar one day. But at the time, Tiger Muay Thai was super big. It's like easy. You have fights every week. Visas, like you don't even need to get a visa. It's 30 days for Canadians right away. Right?
Really?
So I was like, okay, my friends are there. They invite me to Tiger, and I have a good relationship with them now. Basically, ended up winning their tryouts. And it was a big year. That year we had like Dan Hooker, myself. We went, like Alec Rosnowski was there, Peter Yan. So all the guys were.
Oh, great!
Yeah, so
great
it was
fighters.
a good fight. And then I was for me. They were for the MMA. I was for Muay Thai. So we got a scholarship. So. Look, you're still following me?
Yeah.
So then I go to I get that little like. I mean, thank you for giving me that room, guys, but it was like a shitty room with a toilet. It was a bed and a toilet, But I'm happy at the time. I had no money, I just like I'm happy with this. We had like actually my wife is watching right now. We had like called that the black hole in the toilet. There was the humid AC was leaking, and it was so disgusting. There was like we called it the black hole. It was
the mold.
The mold. Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible for you.
I know. Tell me about it.
Yeah, that stuff. Some of that mold can be toxic, right?
Yeah. And my wife was not very happy about it.
I'm sure they weren't testing that mold either.
No. So then we get this, and then like I remember like it's yesterday. We're on the bed, and like I'm making one fight a month in Thailand, and I'm it's like I'm telling I actually got myself in the Max Muay Thai tournament. I was trying to get my name in the Phuket Stadium in the Phuket circuit. Mm-hmm. And then one time, like the manager pulled me out, and he's like, "You're not good enough," because they wanted me to be super stadium-like, check block, and I'm not. I was wide stance. I was catching kicks, punching back. I was not like they want me to do at all. Not good for gamblers, because gamblers they start gambling in a second round, and I was winning like a first round, so they don't make money with me.
Oh, so they wanted you to. For people who don't understand what we're talking about, in Thailand, it's traditional that the fighters fight slowly in the first round. They just sort of feel each other out. Once the bets are all in place, then they go hard in the second and third round. But a lot of fighters would go over there, especially from other countries, and just fuck people up in the first round. Yeah, and that's what you did.
Yeah, and they didn't like me for that.
So what did they tell you to do? So they tell you to slow down the first round? They tell me
to just pull. You didn't tell me anything. Just pull me out of the tournament and say you're not good enough.
Not good enough.
Yeah, and
but I was winning.
I was winning fights. Yeah, so that's how I'm starting to get pissed a little bit, and then. I'm making shit money, and I sold everything that I had at the time to go to Thailand. So I'm like a bit in like hardship. Like I'm like, what am I gonna do? And then I meet Irina, my wife. Now we're married. By the time we were just together, and she said, "Well, one day we want to have kids. You're gonna buy kids. You have kids with $200 a month. Like we need to."
Is that what you were making for a fight? $200.
$200 a fight in the Phuket Stadium. It's like 10,000 baht. 6,000 baht. It's disgusting.
Wow.
That's what people get. Like even
for a whole month, you were living off $200.
I was getting in debt. Thank God I had credit before coming to Thailand.
You're burning through that shit too, though.
Fast.
$50 a week. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I was spending it like $500 a week. So I was getting that pretty fast.
Wow.
Like fast.
Yeah.
So by the time, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? So we're crying on the bed. My wife is like, I believe in you. You can do whatever you want. I think you can be champion. I said, I don't want to be just champion anywhere. I want to be champion in like the most brutal shit in the world. It's like, but Lethwei was like, it was almost unattainable at the time. So,
explain to people the rules of Lethwei, because we keep talking about it.
True. So Lethwei,
headbutts, no gloves.
Takedowns allowed, so suplex to the spine on the head, elbows to the back of the head. They don't care.
Right.
Takedowns allowed. So
soccer kicks.
Soccer kicks, not. I mean, yes,
to the body, but
you can
sort
hit
of
all the way down.
On the way down, yeah, you can kick them in the head.
You can like body lock, and on the way down you headbutt, and then you get back up. The referee doesn't care. A lot of times,
is that a rule though? Is it legal?
It's gray line.
Gray line.
A gray area. So you can actually do a takedown and then drop the knee, like knee stomp, and then it's okay.
Really?
Yeah. They say that basically you're supposed to help a brother up. So when you fall down, you help him up, and you fight. So the mentality is like, we fight for 15 minutes, and if we punch each other in the face with elbows, headbutts, and everything, and let's see the first who quits.
Wow.
But then if you go on the floor, we get up. They want action packed,
Mm-hmm.
Even though I love the ground, I think it's true that on the feet it's more exciting sometimes.
Well, it's easier for people to understand for sure.
Yeah.
Especially for people that don't train. They always want stand-up fights.
True.
So how did you wind up going over to Myanmar?
So just again, I watched a Vice documentary on prison fight. Okay, look at that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So the prison fight thing, that's again it's for in Thailand. For those who don't know, it's sanctioned by the Thai Department of Correction, and they didn't do. I was on the last one ever in 2014, and basically, it's inmates fighting foreigners, and if the inmate wins, the sentence is reduced.
Whoa!
Yeah, have you heard about this?
No.
Okay, prison fight. Yeah, I did that, and we were so basically we go into maximum security prison outside of Bangkok, maximum security prison, and it's like a movie, man. Like they made a movie actually about it recently. I was on the real deal. I was and I was with my Turkish friend. We go there. They take away our phones. We go to that big metal door. We go underneath. I have goosebumps talking about it. And then we see 800 inmates. They're all there for either rape, gang rape, murder, drug trafficking, and they
can get their sentence reduced if they win a fight.
Yeah.
What if they win 2 fights?
One guy actually, it was on Showtime. They did a documentary on Showtime, and he actually won the finale. He won against an American, and he got released.
A murderer?
He won. He was he actually. What I heard. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he went. He was in a bar, and somebody talked about his girlfriend or touched his girlfriend. He went back. He took a knife and stabbed the guy in the neck, and he got in prison for that, for murder, basically.
And he got out for fighting well.
Fighting very well.
Holy shit! Don't go to that part of the world with a squeamish stomach.
Fudge. So he was, but actually those guys, they do some mistakes, but they were fighting in Lumpini. They were like high level guys,
Really?
Yeah, maybe not like all champions, but they were like
they knew how to fight.
100 fights and up.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
So I got a guy who was there for trafficking methamphetamine, meth.
Oh.
It was like 10 years. And basically, me actually, maybe Anvar Bozanarov, he fights in Glory. And he was actually, he fought for the belt against, he actually lost the belt recently. But we were, me and him at the time, he was not in Glory at the time. We fought there. And only, me and another Iranian won the prison fight.
And what are the rules?
So it's a 3-round fight, Muay Thai rules with gloves, with big pillows. 8 ounce. So at the time, again, my goal was always to go to Myanmar. So look at that. So basically, after this, I go back to Canada, and I'm like, my head is like, I don't want to be in -4 degrees Celsius, and minus 20 in Celsius. So I'm like, how can I go back to Asia? And so I go back. I save money. I go back, and then. I'm losing my thoughts. Basically, when I get that situation with Irina, right? We're stressing for money. We're stressing for the future. I called up the prison fight promoter, and at the time I said, "You have a fight for me? Like I need to get money. I need to." He said, "Well, I don't promote Muay Thai anymore. I promote Lethwei. You want to fight in Lethwei?" I'm like, "Yes, that's my. I've always wanted to do this." So he's like, "Well, if you want, I have this guy, he's Tutu, Tootoo. He's undefeated champ in Lethwei rules, 36
his
fights.
Name is Tutu?
Tutu.
Wow.
That's his real name.
He was undefeated in how many fights?
36 fights. That means it's all KO, right? Because traditional Lethwei, it's KO only to win. We forgot to say that.
Really?
There's no point system.
No points?
No.
How many rounds?
5 rounds.
So what happens if you go 5 rounds
Draw.
and nobody... Whoa.
both
Even
arms.
if you're fucking the dude up.
That's what happened.
Wow.
So so basically, I said, I don't care. Let's fight. I want it because it's my dream. So he's like, well, how many fights you have? Well, I have 10 Muay Thai fights. He's like, well, Muay Thai? Well, he's 50 fights in Lethwei, and you have 10 fights in Muay Thai. Well, let me do something. He lied on my record. He said I have 40 fights. Okay, and then I go over there. I'm like, I don't care, because my coach Sifu Patrick and we were always eye gouging and like practicing. That's the mentality of it, like aggressivity, like fish hooking in the clinch or in the grappling.
Can you do that in Lethwei?
No. But
Good.
I mean, you could probably fish hook if probably.
Probably.
I mean, they don't care really.
Really?
Yeah. But as long as eye pokes,
Right.
So anyway, so I was always ready for that. I wanted that aggressive fights. So I go to the fight and some kind of energy comes in my body. I don't know. I don't believe in that stuff, but like I just disfigured him. Like he didn't touch me much. I was using my push kick to the thighs. I was keeping my distance, and then I went inside. I used my elbows, and if you see the fight, he really puffed up. Like it was pretty cool. And then that was my first fight, and the crowd they were throwing bottles a little bit, but
Why were they throwing bottles? Because he's their champion.
Yeah. But then they quickly saw that I did my likamun, which is the challenge gesture, very old challenge gesture, and they loved it. So they started.
How does that work?
So basically, before the fight, you put your arm like this, and you
So explain to people that are just listening. You put one arm under your armpit.
So for those at home, so you put your left arm under your armpit and the other arm in the air, and you hit with your cupped hand on the triangle shaped of your elbow, and you 3 times. That actually gives me more goosebumps because that's I triggered that to the fight, right? And this is a very old gesture from Myanmar, from the Burmese army back in the days when they were in the trenches and they were fighting enemies. You challenge with honor and courage your opponents, and you do that, and that simulates the wing of an eagle. And you
so they saw you do that, and they got fired up because you understand the rituals.
Yes, because some of the times guys were coming from other disciplines, other country, and they were putting their white crew. They were doing a bunch of other things.
Okay.
I embraced the culture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they liked it. It's okay, because at first they wanted another tall white dude to get fucked by their guys.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I was sent there to lose.
Yeah.
I was sent there to die.
What weight are you competing at?
I'm 180 right now.
Mm-hmm.
But like most of my weight is in the groin area.
I hear you. So, but like when you're fighting those guys, like what weight do you have to get down to?
So traditionally in Lethwei, the Burmese guys were never really over 180 pounds. Mm-hmm. So every weight category has a belt. There's only I fight open weight. So there was I fought guys that were 200 pounds, 190 pounds. It doesn't matter as long. And I think in striking that it matters less than if there's wrestling involved.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
But there's only it's easy for people to understand in Lethwei. There's only one golden belt champion for each weight categories. It doesn't matter. Bellator, UFC, ONE FC. There's one champion in Lethwei for. It doesn't matter how many promotions.
And then do they have like a stadium champion like they have in Thailand, or no? Stadiums
change all the time.
Okay, so what is the organizing body?
So at the WLC, this is the World Lethwei Championship. It's like the major league of Lethwei, and they're actually gonna do. We're saying everything, but we'll be doing an event in the state next year.
Really?
Yes.
In the United States?
Yes.
Is it legal?
It got, the first state to legalize Lethwei?
Alabama.
Wyoming.
Oh, those crazy. Those bare knuckle motherfuckers up there. But those are cowboys. Wyoming, they don't give a fuck up in Wyoming, man. There's grizzly bears up there. There's only 80 people.
I've never been there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You've been?
It's beautiful. No, never been there.
Okay.
Never. I've been to neighboring towns, or neighboring states, but Wyoming's gorgeous.
Okay. But they want to do it like in Miami, in Florida. They try to get it in Florida.
They wouldn't let it go in Florida?
They're trying to get it there. That would be more prestigious than doing Wyoming.
No, man. Wyoming's the shit. I love Wyoming.
You're going to get endorsements from Wyoming
No,
people.
because it's one of the last truly wild places.
Okay.
Like there's beautiful cities and beautiful homes and stuff in Wyoming, but it's a gorgeous state. And it's got real wildlife. They have wolves and grizzly bears and elk, and it's just like I have never hunted there, but you definitely can.
Hunt? Where's the best place?
Utah, Colorado's great. There's a lot of Montana. I've hunted in Montana.
Did you ever go out of the country?
I've never hunted in other countries.
If you had to go, where would it be? Like out of the country?
Australia is really good. I have a good buddy of mine, Adam Greentree. He lives in Australia. There's a lot of hunting out there. Okay. And New Zealand. There's a lot of hunting in New Zealand.
It's a nice trip. It's far, but it's nice.
Africa's weird. Hunting in Africa is very strange. Like, it's got too many connotations attached to it, but there's a lot of wildlife there.
And it could be rough too, some places.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
I had some stories. I heard some stories.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously an enormous continent, but some of the countries can definitely be rough. But there's a lot of these areas that are supported by people hunting wildlife. And if I did hunt, I would only be hunting things like antelope, things that you eat. Okay. I would never hunt like an elephant or any of that shit. I have no desire.
How often do you hunt? Because I saw, like, I want to do it too because it looks healthy.
Oh, it's the best meat in the world. I wish you were staying around here, man. I'd give you some. I have a freezer full of elk meat out there.
And it's like, how's the texture?
It's like a lean meat. It's like venison. If you ever had venison, it's very lean. You have to cook it at low temperature slowly. Is it
chewy?
No, it's not that chewy. I mean, it's more chewy than, say, like a real fatty beefsteak, but I love it, man. I love it. It's so good for your body.
Oh. And it's like wild.
Oh, yeah, 100% wild. Wow. Yeah, just dodging mountain lions and trying not to get jacked by wolves and bears and shit.
I followed the Nature's Metal because of you.
Oh, dude,
that's badass.
Nature's Metal's the best. The best Instagram. There's like Kyle Dunnigan's the funniest, and Nature's Metal is the best.
And one of the coolest is King Leduc also.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, right. The headbutts. But Nature's Metal, man. Like I watched one bear attack a deer, and he was screaming like a human.
Yeah.
Did you see this
in
one?
The backyard. Yeah. That's awful. I always show that to people that think the bears are like these cuddly little things. I'm like, man, bro, they eat deers alive. They eat them while they're alive.
I show that to people that think that we're like we're over nature, like we're mammals. Like
we're a part of nature. We just live in cities and we're very well protected. Yeah. But that's one of the things that I actually enjoy about hunting is when you're out there in the wild, the real wild, wandering through the mountains, you realize how vulnerable you are. When you see bears or you see mountain lions. Well, I don't bring a gun. I hunt with a bow.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, even with a gun, you're still. I mean, if you don't shoot something, or if it comes from behind you, like a cat, like a mountain lion, will fuck you up, man. You have a rifle and you don't even have one in the chamber, and a mountain lion jumps in your back. Good luck racking a bullet and getting your safety off and getting some distance.
They have big, there's no way you can you can't eye poke the guy.
A cat? People have survived by stabbing them. People have survived. There's people that have been in life or death situations with cats and they've managed to stab it. It's possible, but it's not likely. Likely you're getting fucked up.
That's like if there's a simulation one day, I want to try it. And you can retry
a simulation where you don't get your face ripped off.
And with a bear too, that would be nice. See how would it go?
Did you see that video recently of the trainer? Did you see that?
Yes. Yeah.
Trainer, the bear just decides, you know what? Fuck this game. Just tears the guy apart. That can happen at any moment. You're not supposed to do that with bears. Say hi to them. You see them. Hopefully you're in your car. Keep driving. Wave at them. Don't get out of the fucking car. And definitely don't try to train them.
Did you see one when there were no hair?
Oh, yeah.
It's not the most beautiful creature.
Oh, creepy looking. Creepy looking.
Yeah.
So
anyway, back to Lethwei.
Please go.
So we're talking about the prison fight, I believe, or something like that. Yeah. So I get to, actually we're going to, I crossed over to Lethwei, and then I was giving just to tell you how much I really wasn't prepared that much, and it's kind of a crazy how it happened. My translator, Burmese translator, before entering the ring told me, if you want to protect your head, but don't forget you put your hand on his head, right? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, put your head, so if he strikes you, it's not going to cut you. And that's what I teach in my seminars too, and I'm like, wow, and that's like literally before they call my name. So I go in the fight and actually stop the headbutt from this. Yeah. And like people at home that, let's say I try to, if I would put my hand on my head in the clinch, right? And if you would strike on my forehead and he could still strike me in the jaw. If I put on my jaw, I can still go to my temple. But the goal is to, and we can do it after a little bit, like I would put on your head. So and if you strike me, it's gonna stun me, but not cut me. So that's the key. Yeah. But then again, why it's so different why is it so different? Is because you lose a limb that you could use for striking. You have to put it on the head of your opponent. So you have like one limb left to hit or whatever. So completely different clinch. And most people, when they clinch in Muay Thai, whatever, they clinch, they hold the biceps, right? But then in the middle, there's the headbutt.
Right.
It's really cool that there's still one martial art in the world that still like will not budge. They will keep it raw. Like that.
It's an effective technique, and this has always been my problem with Glory. That Glory doesn't allow elbows. I'm like, why not have full Muay Thai rules? Allow the clinch, allow knees to the body in the clinch, allow elbows, knees to the face, the plum. I mean, all those techniques are very valid. To be able to cross over an elbow in the clinch, I mean, it's very skillful.
It's real, and it's, you like So
and
that's
then
why
if you add elbows and then head. Man, that's another element.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's why I think headbutts should be allowed in MMA, I believe.
I think so too.
And if not, well, we have MMA, which is like the most generalist martial art with the grappling and the wrestling and the striking. But then in Lethwei, we have like the most permissive striking sport on the feet, right? That's pretty exciting to do.
Well, bare knuckle boxing they're doing a lot of that in Wyoming, by the way.
Oh, it's in Wyoming too?
Yes, okay. That's where they do it. I think that's the only state. See if that's the only state that allows it. I think it might be one of the only states that allows it. But I was a big proponent of bare knuckle in MMA. I was like, why do you get to pad the knuckles up when you don't pad the shins and the elbows? And it doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
But then the cuts. Is it true?
Mississippi and New Hampshire have also recently added it, but Wyoming was the first.
Yeah.
I needed Jamie in my life.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody does.
So the cuts are huge, and that's the thing. But it's only hands, right?
Right.
If you would have your legs to push him away, you would have your elbows, you have the headbutts. You would. I feel it's even more.
You think
realistic.
they would get less cut up?
Yeah,
if they had...
I get less cut too, and I think in a way, I actually think. Like if you look in general, most Lethwei fights have a bit less cut than bare knuckle boxing, because it's really you're just standing in front of each other and you just punch, and it's I want to be the new generation Lethwei fighter, because the Burmese actually they go in the pocket and it's a bloodbath. Scar tissue everywhere, short careers.
You don't fight like that.
I don't want that. I want to go back to my wife and be
handsome.
Hey baby, I'm good.
So you fight. Well, you also are very long, right? You're tall and long for your weight class.
Yeah.
So even though you're fighting large, what do you? 6'3"?
I'm 6'2". Yeah.
6'2".
Yeah.
So when you're fighting these guys, do you usually have a height advantage?
Yeah, and that's a good point. So basically, people say because Tutu and Tuntun Min, that's another guy, Tuntun Min. He was the legend. He was the former champ. The one I defeated for the golden belt. He was the openweight champ. So Tutu was 75 kg, and the other one was openweight. So basically, Tuntun Min and him are both around 5'9", 5'10", and so. But the thing is, it's actually, and now after facing taller opponents like Americans and French and Australians, 6 foot and up, 6'3" and everything. If you look at this, like he's like 5'9", would be about here, 5'10", and then the headbutt would go right away to my jaw.
Yeah.
Okay, and the six, and if I want to headbutt him at 5'10", 5'9", I would have to drop my level, then do a headbutt. So it's slower. But if I fought in August, Seth Basinski is like 6'3". I didn't get to
Seth Basinski fought in Lethwei?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You fought him?
Yeah, last month.
August. How'd it go?
Second round, I got him with a weave and then a hook in the. But I think he was pretty cautious of the head, but we didn't get in the pocket. So it was in Burma. He's a cool guy. Really
he's
cool
a very cool guy.
Very good guy. Yeah.
I didn't know he was doing that.
Yeah, he was bigger than me though. He's a big
fellow.
He's not 170 anymore.
No, I'm sure. So is there cutting weight in Lethwei?
Well, in the WLC now they're trying to put like more strict weight class, and but before, like I said, I fought open weight, but now open weight was very restrictive. As the popularity of Lethwei increases, there's more big guys that want to fight.
Right.
So now in WLC, I'm fighting cruiserweight, which was 185 pounds.
Dude, that guy headbutting, who was that supposed to be? The guy on your shirt.
That's me.
That's you?
I got that by a fan. It's pretty cool, no?
Yeah, that is cool.
And it's the same face.
As
I do when I headbutt.
You're very angry face.
Well, I try to be kind outside of the ring.
Yeah, and angry inside of it.
And we don't let anybody.
So have other like big name guys like Seth? Seth fought in the UFC for quite a long time.
I think 11 fights, and he did the Ultimate Fighter too.
Is there other guys at that level that are starting to make their way to Lethwei?
Well, we actually got a message the other day from Diego Sanchez.
Diego's so fucking crazy. Of course he wants to do it.
He said, "Dave, I'm not in UFC anymore."
He's not?
Oh, Maybe I shouldn't say that, but
Oh shit!
yeah,
He just dropped a scoop.
Well,
Diego Sanchez not in the UFC.
yeah, he said, "I'm off my contract. You want to give me a Lethwei fight in WLC? Would be nice."
Wow, that
So-
fucking psycho. Of course
Yeah.
he wants to do it.
Yeah, I think he would love it.
Oh yeah, he would love it. He's perfect for it. Yeah,
I'll corner him too.
yeah, that's interesting.
But so yeah, apart from that, there's been like it was mostly strikers, and I fought Cyrus Washington. Maybe you know. This
Oh
guy,
yeah, sure, yeah,
Also disfigured him too.
yeah.
Yeah, and we had a little bit of rivalry, and
He's a very good fighter.
very good fighter, but
Yeah.
he was running around the entire freaking fight.
He's a shorter guy too, right?
He was 5'10", I believe.
Is he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
5'11".
okay.
I'm not sure, but he was a bit shorter than me. But yeah,
He's a guy that throws a lot of spinning techniques.
yeah,
too,
and
right?
I was aware of that, and I wanted to make sure that I keep my distance. But then
Mhm.
I knew I had a better inside game than him, so
Oh,
I wanted to go inside fast. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so him and a couple, but the biggest name was the Burmese guys. You know, they're like 55 million people. For people at home, there's 55 million people in Myanmar, and their national sport is Lethwei.
Yeah,
And it's like a religion there.
that
like,
is crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy that it's so popular there, and most people, unless you're a hardcore martial arts fan, you don't even know about it.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of UFC fans probably listening to this podcast just hearing about Lethwei for the first time.
Yeah. And it's okay because I had gyms that hosted a seminar with me, and he said he's a martial artist for 40 years and never heard about Lethwei.
Wow.
So it's okay. We're in that transition now, you know.
Yeah.
But then in 20, 30 years, they're gonna ask, "Hey, do you know about Lethwei?" So, yeah, I heard the podcast about it. You know.
Well, it's also YouTube, I think. A lot of the videos of your fights and some other fights on YouTube, people go, whoa! They
Yeah.
see the headbutts and the body slams and the
Yeah.
suplexes and shit.
Yeah.
And it just shows, like, wow, this is wild. This is a wild sport.
It's pretty exciting.
How long are the rounds? Are they normal length? 3 minutes?
5 rounds of 3 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But
So
then,
it's very similar to Muay Thai.
yes, but then the crazy part, which my fights I fought in traditional Lethwei rules, is that you have an injury timeout.
An injury
so
timeout.
meaning that let's say you knock me out, Joe, and then they pull me out in my ring in my corner. They slap my face. They bite my ear. They pull my
Bite
hair,
your ear?
Whatever. They want to make me up. They want
Bite your ear?
But that helps you wake you up. A little
Really?
bit. I don't know. It hurts. No, it wakes
Have
you up.
they done that?
Not to me. I never use my.
But you've
timeout.
seen people do that?
Pull the hair. Yeah.
You've seen them bite each other's ears?
Yeah. They just like they mumble. They
just chew on the ear a little bit?
a little
Really?
bit. It hurts. No.
Well, I'm sure it hurts, but I mean, what about ice? It seems like that'd be a better way to
They
wake
do
you up.
everything because let's say you have 2 minutes to get
Uh-huh.
revived.
Okay, so you get KO'd,
Yeah.
and the fight's not over?
2 minutes to get revived.
Why isn't the fight over?
I don't know. That's the traditional back to 2,000 years ago. They want to give another chance.
What?
But the WLC,
Oh my
thankfully,
God, that is so crazy.
yeah,
WLC's eliminating
they
that?
room with that, and
Yeah.
I'm good with that. If you want guys to have a career out of Lethwei, right?
Yeah.
it's better for the brain.
Oh, yeah, a lot better. Yeah,
Because I've
yeah,
seen,
yeah.
I think only seen one time. Actually, it was Tuntunmin with I think Cyrus. Where actually, you get the only guy, you get knocked out. He went back to his corner, got revived, and won the fight.
What?
Yeah, he
Did
won.
he win by decision?
No,
there's no
the
decisions.
Towel, the towel.
Cyrus Washington's corner threw in the towel.
Yeah.
Wow, that is
Yeah,
so
that's really rare. So
ridiculous.
most of the time, when you use your timeout, your outlet, you're gonna just get knocked out twice.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
imagine. I mean, you just had a serious head. Oh, is that
Yeah.
it right there?
Yeah, you see-
Show it to me in the beginning. Show it to me in the beginning.
Nice, you knock, boom, elbow here.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
he's out fucking cold.
Yeah, look, they drag him out, and he actually finished and won the fight.
That is insane.
So they drag.
That is fucking insane. That is fucking insane that they. Oh my God.
They're gonna bite the ear soon.
No, they're not gonna bite his ears.
Yeah.
Don't tell me they're gonna bite his.
Look,
fucking
they
ears.
drag him.
He's out cold.
And this is one of the strongest. Like he was.
This is Tutu Min.
Yeah.
So they sit him down. He's literally unconscious.
And he wakes up now,
And he's
boom.
starting to wake up when they got water. on
That's
his
hard
head.
though. Like that's freaking hard. Like can think about
What,
that.
Jamie? They just bit his ear. Rewind. Who's biting his ear? They're pouring water on him.
He's gonna do it right there. No? Anyway, just like that's the.
Oh, he tried to bite his ear. He really did.
That's
Oh,
the.
Jesus
Burmese
Christ. So they're just pouring water on him and they give him
Yeah.
a chance to wake up. Hey, wake
thing.
up, bro.
And he's
That is so crazy. What kind
No,
of...
bite the ear right there. Or,
Yeah. Oh, my God, they're biting his ears. He's kissing him, too. He's making out with him. He's like, bro, I'm going to fuck you if you don't wake up.
and the crowd goes crazy because they like, you know,
they want him to keep going.
Yeah, it's like it's really about grit and about like heart. And he goes back. Look, after like 30 seconds, and he ends up winning.
Are they gambling here as well?
I'm not aware of it. I think
really?
a little bit. It's
not, but it's not like Thailand.
I know there's no alcohol served. It's really about Lethwei. You
but
know?
It's not like Thailand.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's Cyrus Washington. They put his mouthpiece in, and he's aware of the rules, right?
Yeah.
So he knows he knocked him out.
Yeah, but then it's a long time after that. So
how much time?
It's a long time.
Like how long?
At the end of the 5th round.
But how much time do they give him? A break?
So what? Oh, it's a minute or two a break in between rounds.
No, but I mean, while he got knocked out,
it was a 2-minute
revive
break.
him.
It was a 2-minute break.
Just 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
And he's already back to it. You know.
That is
crazy. It was knockout cold.
That's crazy.
Solid
boy, this
guy.
is so bad for your brain.
I fought both of them. I fought Cyrus and I fought Tuntumin 3 times. So basically, it's the end.
So Cyrus just quit?
He's out. Yeah, Tao was there, like it's over.
Wow.
It's over. So Tuntumin won the fight.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy.
Welcome to the world of Lethwei.
Wow, but that's so insane that they revive him. Yeah. I mean, that motherfucker was out cold.
So Tuntumin now, like that, I have a big rivalry with him. We had a trilogy fight together, and he's one of the strongest guys I ever saw in my life. Like he's almost like immune to I don't know. He's tough. So, but think about, like, I was watching when I got into Lethwei. My coach showed me fights. I got in. I saw his fights, right, and I was like, it seems so far away to go actually there. I was a little kid from Montreal, you know, from Gatineau actually, and then. Fast forward a couple years later, I'm fighting him for the most anticipated rematch in Lethwei history, right? Like it was everywhere in the country, live on national TV. It was like 30 million people watching it, like almost the whole country. It was insane. And then
30 million.
It's crazy. People in the huts, and they have a satellite, and the people gather in the villages. They don't have electricity, but they don't have running bathrooms, but they have a TV with a satellite. And then we fight in December last year, and that's actually, you showed my headbutt last time. That was with him.
Oh yeah.
When you know the headbutt knockout, like the knockdown that you showed.
Yeah.
And he said, like, this dude do it a lot.
Yeah.
Because people were saying, oh, headbutt doesn't work. Like, no.
That was during Fight Companion. Yeah, I was telling them, no. You got to see Dave.
You're good, man. That was good. I appreciated that. But that was the headbutt, my first headbutt knockdown like this. I use headbutt. I use the head to create distance. So let's say we're in the clinch, right? And I would put my forehead, the hard part of my skull, on the jaw, on the aorta, on the sterno, on the mastoid muscle here, and I would just use it to push. And then I couldn't bring it back.
So create space and then headbutt. Yeah. Now, the way you work the pads with headbutts, is that something that you invented?
I was never told, so I just started. I wanted to get better, right? So I started doing it. Yeah, I pretty much invented it.
Wow.
I mean, cannot put invented, but like I started doing it.
But you started actually doing pad work for headbutts, though.
Yeah, in a more refined way, because they do that in Myanmar, a little bit of headbutts on the pad, but like I wanted it in a more refined way and following up with.
Oh, look at this! You do it with a cord.
Neck flex.
That's so ridiculous.
What
is neck flex? Is that something like the iron neck, like the same sort of a deal?
To be honest, I don't know if you're. That's for you.
Okay.
Look at that.
So it's a chain for weights and then a cord.
This is my lifesaver, man, for my neck, to be honest. I used to have those, the blighty thing in Thailand.
Right.
With the freaking concrete thing.
Yeah.
But then
explain what that is.
So basically for people at home, like,
it's like a cord.
I was always the last guy after the gym to go train my neck because I feel like it helps headbutt prevention and concussions and everything, right?
Definitely helps concussion prevention.
And I feel like if you would punch me on the front, what absorbs the impact would be my sternocleidomastoid muscle.
Yeah.
And so then I started doing this, but when you bite a weight and you pull it up, it works the back of the neck. But then I was doing neck raises. I was on my back, and I was doing neck raises
for the front of the neck.
But then I was getting a bit stronger, so I was putting like kettlebell on my forehead and 15 to get stronger. But then I can't carry this biteable neck on my trips, on my tours.
Right.
So then this guy reaches up. He's like, "Well, you can bring that in your luggage, and then you can put a 45 pound on it if you want."
Right.
Like, that's pretty practical, right?
Yeah.
So then I started like just doing my neck like this, and I I like it. Like it's practical. Then I can, when I'm on tour right now, I can just do my neck everywhere in any gym with a weight. You know.
Have you ever used an iron neck?
No.
I have one out here. I want you to try it because I think it's the best for training your neck because it allows you to rotate.
Okay.
So you put it on. It's like a halo, and then it has a 50-pound bungee cord.
You like it?
So I love it.
Yeah, okay.
And grapplers love it. Like Jean-Jacques Machado swears by.
But can you do like heavy weights? Like, because this I can do like a 45 pounds.
No, you don't.
Okay.
You don't do
weights?
weight. Okay. No. So the idea is
you don't think it would be good to do weights?
I don't know. See, it's very controversial. Some people think that when you're doing like the traditional, I have one of those head things, a leather thing with a chain like that. You put a plate on it and you do these. Yeah. I've done these, but some people think that motion with weights puts unnecessary pressure on your discs.
Okay.
So the idea with the iron neck is there's never any pressure on your disc because your neck is straight. Okay. So you get a halo. The halo sits on top of your head. It forms, and you actually
that picture,
you pump it up so it gets tight to your head.
But I feel like all those twisting can be a bit like not detrimental for the disc. You know, you twist a lot.
You just got to try it. We'll try it afterwards. I'll show it to you.
Perfect.
But I mean, I'm not a physiologist, so I don't. But I've talked to people that I really respect, and they don't like the weight thing.
Okay. Well, I guess because I use the weight, and I feel like actually maybe you saw a video I did with Bass the other day in LA with Bass.
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I put it up.
When was this?
It was eagle throat in the neck.
Yeah,
it was
eagle throat to the neck is legit. I tell people that, like, if someone's fucking with you, like, just grab their neck, slam them in the neck like that.
But this, I feel like as I'm doing more neck, my muscle overlaps my trachea, right?
Oh yeah, all this stuff right here.
I want to feel it.
Yeah, man. Get in there. Get that shit.
Tight it up. Okay.
It's a little something, man. Damn, man, you got a lot of muscle in there. So you're doing a lot of this stuff. A lot of
neck raises.
Are you doing it every day?
Every 2 days, and I do it.
Do you do neck bridges as well?
Yes.
You do those as well?
Yeah, neck raises back and front. Yeah. And pendulum and everything. But I'm not doing like side yet. I'm just doing frontal because I don't want to risk it. I don't know. Tyson was doing a lot of, Tyson was...
He fucked his neck up too, Tyson had to get surgery on his neck.
It's risky, the neck bridges. If you don't do it well, you can hurt your back. And
yeah, neck bridges are a lot of wrestlers want to fucking their neck up on that.
Yeah.
I mean, you put a lot of weight. You see that arc when you're rolling back and forth. And the thing is, it's tremendous pressure on the discs. It's an unnatural pressure.
Okay.
This is the whole concept behind the iron neck.
Okay.
Is that you don't put that kind of pressure because you never have like a flexation of the neck while you're strengthening.
Okay. But definitely, like for example, when I let's say you bite the neck where I put the neck flex on my head, like when I do this, I feel like my trap working. Yes. So I feel it's like any muscle, like bicep, build up muscle, and frontal would be neck raises.
Are you doing trap work as well? Do you do shrugs and things like that? Right.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest guy, but I feel like a strong neck, a strong back, everything is crucial. Everything. And again, for people at home, when you do a headbutt, why I say train your fucking neck, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not because I want to do a whip with my head. That's actually when it's detrimental for your spine.
Right.
When I do a headbutt, if you look at all my videos and headbutts, I put it's like my spine is rock solid, and you use your legs.
Yes.
So your head is stable, your neck is stable, but it's strong. But then you push with your legs to create a good headbutt.
Yeah, you're developing real power with that headbutt. It's not just like a thump, like a thoughtless sort of a thump.
No, you're
doing it like a technique. Yeah.
And then you would actually, people say, and we can talk about this, but like people, if you do headbutts, it's going to be brain damage. Well, first of all, any martial art, any contact sport, there's a risk. We're not playing soccer here, right? But
and even if you are, soccer players get brain damage.
Yeah, with the ball.
From heading the ball.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, let's do what we have. Life is short. We don't know what's going to happen after. Right? So let's do what we love. I love doing headbutts. So, so basically, when I feel like if you hit with the hard part of your skull, with like the horseshoe, I feel like you're inflicting maximum damage to your opponent, but not to myself.
There's a great video of a girl, who's this fucking guy is in her face talking shit outside of a bar, and she grabs his collars. She grabs his collars and fucking slams her head into him, and he goes out.
It's the best.
It's hilarious, though. It's hilarious because this guy's way bigger than her. He's just being a dick. And she's like, oh, yeah? Okay. Bang!
If I have a daughter one day, I want to teach her headbutt and kick in the groin. It's not, you don't want to, physiologically.
Move. Here it is. Here it is. Watch it. This is a fucking hilarious video. So this guy is like.
Oh, you see there?
They're in the middle of like this thing. Let's see, when does it actually happen? The guy is like pushing her. and backing her up. And boom! Look at that. Out cold, bitch.
Ooh, that's a
She's
good
like,
one.
fuck you.
She got him, and
He's
she's tiny.
pushing her. Yeah, she's tiny, way smaller than him. I mean, I don't know what was being said, but he was pushing her and pushing her back. She's like, you're out, bitch.
Love it.
Boom.
So girls learn how to headbutt. It's
That
good
girl
to self-defense.
probably wakes up in the middle of the night when she has to pee and thinks about that. It's like, yeah, I got that motherfucker. I got him. Boom.
You
That
see,
is-
and she used her she used her legs
fuck
to do
yeah,
it.
dude. That girl,
Boom.
she did it well.
Yeah.
Somebody taught her, or she just has good instincts.
So, WLC get her a Lethwei contract.
Do they have women that fight Lethwei?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yeah. One
Really?
actually was, maybe you've heard of it, she was on the Ultimate Fighter show with Julia. She's a Lithuanian, and she went pretty far, I think. But she from Lithuania, she won in Japan. Lethwei is getting pretty big in Japan.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Tokyo. There's a Lethwei in Japan. I fought there 3 times in Tokyo.
No kidding.
Yeah. Lethwei is
Well, I know that the awareness of it is growing. Like, what is the internet? Is that what's making people more aware of it?
Some people
Probably?
say the internet. Some people say it's Dave. I don't know.
Maybe you. Well, it's you too,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, that there's like a face that speaks English that, you know, is
Yeah, you couldn't
the head guy.
You couldn't have like Tuntumin speak in English, right?
Right.
So
It's
that's
hard to get excited about it. Sometimes that's all it takes is like someone who crosses over who becomes the best at it from another country, and then you can speak English clearly, and so that
not bad.
makes
No accent.
no,
Not too
well,
much.
you obviously have an accent, but it's
Try to-
clear. But
You
it's
know, I
clear.
actually learned English while watching Fear Factor.
No, you didn't.
I was watching it in
Yeah,
Quebec.
maybe, but that's not how you learned English.
Like, that's why I swear so much. Joking.
I never swore in
I'm
Fear
joking.
Factor. That doesn't even make any sense.
I'm teasing
How
you,
many
but-
fights have you had over there?
I'm over 10. It's like I choose right now. My first couple years, I was doing like 6 fights, like 4 or 5 fights, and I was getting like super. Not depressed, but like it was very redundant. You know, it's like every 2 months, same technique, same position, same thing, same running, same heels. It was like, and I had like, whoa, and I was like getting injured everywhere. Like my elbows were hurt, my knuckles were swollen. So I'm like, I called my wife and I called her after training. I was like, can we just take a break? Like,
Yeah.
and I negotiated like a very good contract with the WLC, and they take care of me. So I'm able to take 1 or 2 fights a year.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
So, how many fights have you had total?
I would say I would have to check. I think Wikipedia has it like maybe 12 or 11 or something like that. But then yeah.
Yeah.
So
and,
this year I only fought once.
and so it's better. You think?
Yeah.
To do it that way.
I'm still like it's like a dog on a leash with you put. I'm hungry to go fight.
Right,
And
right.
I actually have They fight like once every 2 months. They fight a lot, right? The Burmese, and I feel one guy actually fights 4 times this month. Like a young Burmese fighter, he fights 4 times. I'm like, wow. But I feel like I have unwillingly. I'm happy with it, but like an ambassador, right? So I have to not only for the sport, for the country too.
Right.
So I have to do a lot of other work. So right now I'm working on my online academy.
Oh, that's
so people
cool.
can learn Lethwei via videos. I need to film like a lot of videos.
And you are really famous in Myanmar, right? Like someone told me that your wedding, 30 million people watched your wedding on television there.
More than that, I think, but yeah.
That's fucking insane.
It was so the story that's like look. So now we go back to the story when I went over after the prison fight. I went to Myanmar. Then after
we didn't even talk about the prison fight. We kind of skipped over it.
I mean, I won. Like
Yeah.
so it's no, but I think the more important is the Lethwei part. So then I talked about it because that was my connection to the promoter.
Oh, okay.
Then the promoter gets me into Lethwei, and then I like beat up Tutu. And then I get right away challenged by Tuntumin, the open weight. So like the best in the country. When you're open weight champ, you're the best in the world in Lethwei, right? The biggest and the strongest. So he's a 3rd, 4th, 5th generation Lethwei fighter. His grandfather was a Lethwei fighter, and they were all golden belts winners, right? So he's born in the like. If you look where he lives, it's raw, man. It's the hut. It's in the jungle, and he's raised in the headbutt culture. Like, he's an animal. He's a head hunter. He just goes for the head, and he has a good right hand. So I'm like, and I knew right away after that fight with Tutu, he was fighting that night too. So I go shake his hand. He doesn't know yes and no in English. That's how bad he is. And I say, good fight. And he's like, you just give me a head nod. And I knew that we were going to meet. So we meet, and and then where was I going with this? Basically, what was your question, Joe? You said
just go ahead. Just keep going. So you meet him.
And then with the first fight, I think it's important to talk about this because I was only my 2nd Lethwei fight ever, right? and I'm fighting the best.
2 legends in a row.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they want again. They like, oh, Tutu didn't get him, so let's get Tutu in to fuck him up, right? So I go back. I was at Tiger at the time, and that was we'll go back to this later. But they were laughing at me because I was doing headbutts on the bags, and they were. It was all a big show every time I was doing headbutts, right? Like, oh, look at Dave doing this. Look at. And I had to teach this guy with 300. My coach at the time, my pad holder at the time, I had to teach him how to hold pads for headbutts. And that's the way I developed a bit the way to do, jab, cross, hook, headbutt, elbow, stuff like that. So then they were laughing. Okay, cool. I don't care. I'm winning fights. I go there, and first fight, that's the hard part, man. Like the first couple of rounds, the 3 rounds, I push kick his stomach, and he grabs it, and he sweeps my other leg many times. So I actually sectioned the back of my leg. I had to do physio, like my nerves, I think in the back of my right leg was like sectioned, or maybe not sectioned, but like severely damaged.
Okay.
So section would be pretty bad. Yeah. So
what do you mean by section? Does that mean like tear? It was like damage. Is that from kicking the back of your leg?
I think because he did it many times in the same spot, right on the back of my knee.
Okay.
Which there's a lot of nerve.
So he's catching your teep kick and then kicking your other leg.
Yes.
Okay.
So then many times, and I don't.
So it's tearing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't I'm like, what the fuck? Like, because I want to go inside. I want to do my elbows, and I can't so then adaptation, I think, is key in life as well, right? You need to adapt. And so again, this guy is 70 fights. I think all of my KOs. He's just smashing everyone. And then I started adapting. I went to the leg instead, the push kick to the leg instead of the stomach, and that he couldn't catch it anymore. And then it was making buckle up. So that was a big thing in my.
So you're hitting him above the thigh, hyperextending the knee,
and he can't get in. So he's a bull. They call him the bull. So he goes inside. He can't go inside if I'm pushing his leg too much, right? So he's having a hard time, and he's gassing out a little bit because he usually knocks him out in the first round. He goes far, right? So then I'm like, I knocked him out a couple of times, knocked him down a couple of times at the end of the fight. So it was a real draw, right? It was a real draw. So we ended up the first fight as a draw, but then right away, automatic rematch. We fight you again.
How long?
2 months.
2 months.
But
and
then
your leg is fucked up.
Yeah. So but then it was an added sweetener. That was, again, I'm very emotional today. I have goosebumps, because it changed my life, Joe.
Yeah.
Basically, it was, if you win this fight, it's December 2016. If you win this fight, we're gonna pay for your wedding. And it's for the golden belt. So the other one was only a challenge fight, But when they this was actually for it's for the title fight. So I got 2 draws, and now it's like title fight. So I'm like, let's go. I train, and I train hard. And we meet up again, and now I proposed to Irina after the other fight in Bagan. By the way, if you have a chance to go there, beautiful, 10,000 temples, UNESCO protected temples, and you go there at 5 a.m., 4 a.m., and you see the sunrise on those temples, and there's a hot air balloon. It's beautiful.
Wow.
So I proposed to Irina in Russian. I learned my script in Russian, and she says yes. I don't know how I tricked her to love me. But so we go there, but then it makes the news in Myanmar, right? So Dave got engaged in Bagan. So then the promoter calls me. So, hey, you got that fight in December? If you win, you want to get married in Myanmar? I said, yeah. So it's going to be a Myanmar traditional wedding. So full gold with I'll show you pictures. It's pretty cool. But I said, it's going to be we're going to make an event out of this. So obviously he's not stupid. The guy pays 20 grand, but he's going to he's going to
put it on television.
Yeah, a bit like what they did with, they help Connor or whatever. They want to build a fight.
Sure.
So it's live on TV, and it's a BBC freaking everything.
Wow.
So I had a lot of pressure. I had to win. I don't want my wife to, because the wedding was gonna happen regardless, right?
But this could be a better wedding, right?
Yeah, I don't want to. Oh, that's not the most glamorous one. Maybe there's another one.
It's pretty cool, man.
This one,
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool. So you have Irina Terehova and Dave Leduc in Burmese language.
Wow.
That was pictures from BBC. Yeah, look at my hat. Maybe Jamie, you can go on the left. Maybe you can see the hat. This one, yeah. Look, I have a hat. It's pretty cool.
What is that hat called?
I don't know the name, but when you see my skirt, it's called a longi.
Longi.
So this is, everybody in Myanmar has that. It's also in India. In India, they call that the longi. In Myanmar, they call it the longi. most comfortable thing in the world. You wear that.
Is it like a kilt?
I have one for you.
You have one for me.
Look at that.
Hilarious.
It's directly from Myanmar.
It fits in that little tiny bag?
Yeah. So you're gonna look. It's like a long thing. This is directly from Burma.
Oh.
And basically, yeah, it's
So it's like a kilt.
It's like a kilt. No, a kilt would be knee up.
Right? And this is lower?
This one is all the way down.
Oh, all the way down the ground.
Yeah, and I have a story for that.
Okay.
So this actually, like, I don't give you expensive
dudes wear
gifts.
underwear?
That's $1, by the way.
$1?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Sweet.
I don't.
Now, do these guys wear underwear under this, or are they free balling?
Yeah. They commando. Now they
No?
you wear underwear.
Okay.
But then the story with this, and we'll go back to the fight, guys, is just that people wear that, very comfortable. But then when like war happens, you put it up, and it looks like almost like a diaper, right? And you can kick, because this you can't kick with this.
Oh, I see.
And you put it up, and then it show off your leg tats, because they have a big tradition of leg tattoos.
Oh, okay.
And,
that's where you get all your tattoos on your legs?
Yeah.
Does it come from being over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is. I waited before having them, because I wanted to make sure I deserve them. You know.
Ah, interesting. Okay, cool.
And basically, so I like that, because when you don't know who's a fighter, unless you see their face, but then let's say the war was happening. Boom! Everybody gets their lungi up and they're ready for battle, and you see, oh, he's a fighter. Oh, he's a fighter. Oh, he's a fighter. Right? Because the legs are tied up.
Got it.
Back in the days, everybody had every fighter that was fighting Lethwei had the toquin. It's called.
Okay, so
anyway,
back to the fight.
yes. So. Because we're doing a big 101 about Myanmar right now. Everything.
Yeah,
It's so many things to talk about. So the fight. And then I started, I actually had a Canadian TV following me for that fight. And he usually told me that, Dave, usually when we follow somebody, the guy never wins, you know. But I was like pretty happy. So I ended up get him like a takedown. I'm bloody. I get him with an elbow in the face. His head is like open up, a pretty big gap in the head. He's bleeding. And then I get a takedown, but I'm using a lot of my teep this time. And like he buxel him up, and I think their legs are not going too well. And then I do a takedown, and he falls on his leg, and then he has to use his timeout. So yeah, they bring him back, and he looks in pain. And I tell my corner, and I'm a bit like I'm bleeding, because he got me to cut too. That's also pretty rare. But and then I'm here. I say, which leg is it? Which leg is it? And my corner at the time's like, it's the right leg. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, and then the 2 minutes ends up. He goes back. He's like, he looks limping a little bit. So I'm like, I'm attacking the right leg. So I try to hit it, but and then I do another takedown, and he's bleeding more. And then not long after that, it was over. He wasn't able to get up. All right. So and actually, when he fell down, it is a beautiful. It was a pretty intense moment. He falls down, and right in front of the Canadian TV crew, and the blood like leaks on the floor, and it's pretty intense. Like pretty cool. Because I'm excited about this, because like there's not a lot of good quality videos about Lethwei, you know.
Right.
So
is that available online? Can Jamie pull that up?
I mean, if you go to my I don't know, YouTube or something, you could probably see the thing while we're talking. But
so this makes you the golden belt champion.
Exactly.
This is a giant moment for you, and this also spreads the word about Lethwei in Canada.
Well, not automatically, right? Because it happens in Myanmar.
Right.
So but then in Myanmar, it's just becoming like crazy. People, and we get married live on TV 2 days after the fight. So it's like literally there, because
now they don't resent you for beating up their champion now.
Well, okay, a little bit. Because he's representing the entire Muslim community in Myanmar, and I'm basically, without even, because I don't adhere to anything, but like basically I'm representing all like the 95%ers, which is like Christian, Buddhist, and like everybody else basically. So they were so happy. They were pretty excited, because
that's
I think they knew that what was going to happen. Like, we're going to promote their culture abroad, you know.
Yeah. So they're just happy people are promoting the sport.
Yeah, is it hard to find, Jamie? Yeah. If you maybe Google like new champion, I don't know, but it's so that was a big moment. Then
now, when you look at the level of fighters from Lethwei versus Muay Thai, obviously there's more Muay Thai fighters.
There's more fighters,
Yeah. What is the level like?
Well, obviously the guys are fucking like, everybody was like Russians prior to coming. They were coming and fighting. It was Tutun was stopping them all the time. If you look at all the fights, they're smashing everyone bare knuckle, because people are not used to for that. Right?
Is this it right here?
That's not one, but
Which
if you
one
go,
is
That's one of the that's another fight. I fought a Thai guy.
What happened, Jamie?
I took it. I was fine. There's another one, the more important. But the guys are like
what I was going to get at, have you seen the level rise with all these new fighters getting into the game?
Well, as like for example, that was like the Lumpini champion came to Myanmar and all like Sayak. I don't know, Muay Thai, like Sayak. You know this guy?
I've heard the name.
Yeah, so he's like a Thai champion.
Lumpini champion, or
I think he's former champion everywhere.
Stadium.
Yeah, so he went to Myanmar many times to fight, and he drawed with Tuntun Min and all these things. So he's considered one of the best Muay Thai fighter ever, right? And so,
what is the difference like when Thai fighters come over there? What gets in their way? Like what?
Well, that's the thing. They're very technical. And that brings me up to something else, but basically they're very technical and they do very well for the first couple of rounds. But then when the pain threshold starts to kick in, when they start to clinch and then they get a headbutt, they're like, whoa, what's happening here, right? And that's good that you asked me this. If you look at Myanmar, and then Thailand, two neighboring countries, they were fighting for thousands of years old. And if you look at back in the days, the Tongtu Empire, I don't know the exact date, but at that time, the Burmese Empire was like all of Southeast Asia, the biggest empire in Southeast Asia. So they were owning all of Thailand almost, like Chiang Mai, all these things, like, I'm not sure, Vietnam and Laos, all these things. So it was very, very powerful. So that's why they say that Lethwei is the ancestor of all the Muay Lao, Muay Khao, Muay Thai, because it makes sense. While they were owning all these colonies, right, they were dropping their seeds of their martial arts. So then as they retreat, eventually they pushed them away and it became, Burma as we go. We have, and now they're starting a thing called Muay Boran.
Yeah,
in Thailand. So then, but then it's very suspicious. Like, how come you have that sport now with no gloves and headbutts? Muay Boran is that.
Yeah.
And but you were colonized for a long time by Lethwei, by Myanmar, right? So then,
so it's basically their version of it.
Yeah, and they added big ropes instead of doing bare knuckle. Lethwei was only a bit of gauze. They added big ropes.
Right.
So then, but at one point, the king of Thailand did a great thing to attract tourism, which removed the headbutt and adding a scoring system and added gloves, 8-ounce glove, and a beautiful, intricate, and it becomes beautiful Muay Thai as we know, very, very, technical, very nice. But then what happened is that let's say you're Muay Thai guys, hey, you have big 8-ounce glove, and by the way, if you punch, you don't score a lot of points. It's elbows and knees and kicks that score points. So what's going to happen over hundreds of years? The guys are going to practice their kicks. And I think the Thai guys are the strongest kickers in the world, I believe. And so then if you go across in Myanmar, like, hey, by the way, guys, no gloves, no scoring system, and if you it's KO only to win. They swing for the freaking fence, right? So that's the two different type of. So you have way less kicks in Lethwei because you viralize, you prefer no gloves because you can draw blood right away with a punch. Makes sense? So yeah, it's just a history course.
Have you thought about fighting more Muay Thai or maybe even fighting MMA, or do you?
Yeah, but not Muay Thai though.
Not Muay Thai.
I don't want nothing to. I've done it. I don't want to do it again.
How come?
Well, I represent Lethwei.
Yeah, so you enjoy it more.
Yeah, it's freeing. Like you can do headbutts. There's no glove. I don't want to put on like glove. I would consider maybe MMA and have offers. But one championship and Bellator. I was actually with Kung the other day in San Jose. Kung Lee, for those who don't know, he's a legend of martial arts, Sanda specialist. And he actually called Scott Cooker in front of me. He's like, get him a fight. Like I said, well, give me a couple of years. I have a lot of things to do that I want to be happy with my Lethwei career. More things to do, but it's a possibility.
And how old are you now?
27.
27. So you're still young. I mean, you could make that transition into MMA if you wanted to.
We can go to this actually. I actually fought MMA 2 times.
Yeah.
I was stupid when I was younger. So in that transition before going to prison fight, after prison fight, but like in that transition, like I had a year or 2 before raising enough money to go back. And like I said, my first love was grappling, right? So I was doing, I did some fight nights, amateur MMA, and I won my first MMA fight by guillotine. And then I went to another guillotine. So they gave me like the octopus. They gave I'm a choking guy, And then third fight was against GSP's prodigy, like a Japanese guy. So I won by decision. So I was undefeated in MMA, an amateur. But then I go back from Thailand. I'm super excited. I'm doing my striking, and I did some stupid decision. Nobody wanted to fight Meunier. He's a good fighter. And he's in UFC now.
What's his name?
Jonathan Meunier. He fought Colby Covington not long ago, and so nobody wanted to fight him, and he was like, it's going to be a striking fight because people were saying he was a great striker. So I said, let's go. I'm the best striker, so let's do something. So nobody was accepting the fight. So I accepted the fight, but I think it was a bit early for my pro debut. He was already on the radar for UFC, right? So I took the fight at 170, but I was 170. So he was a big boy. I think he dropped down to like from 190. And but then on the feet, I'm winning. I'm doing some good spinning punches and everything. But then Firas is in his corner, and he's like, down, bring him down. So I just stupid. I went on the floor, and for me, I treated it as a BJJ competition. So when I'm on the floor, I'm on the floor. I wasn't very developed yet. I didn't have the ring experience yet, and again, he was the better fighter that night for sure. I almost got the armbar actually, and I let it go. The referee eventually stopped the fight because of elbows in the clinch in the guard. But I was a bit disappointed for this, and. So it was just a bad, early in my career. Mm-hmm. Now I'm a completely different fighter. I fought, in front of thousands of people. Again, he's a great fighter, but I know that it would be a different thing nowadays.
It's crazy that you became this Lethwei champion without really training Lethwei. Like you didn't really go to a traditional Lethwei gym or learn it from them. You basically had your own approach.
Everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like I said, Patmon martial art in Canada. Mm-hmm. We do a lot of Sanda and a lot of Sancho. And my coach Steve Pat he did like two pro fights, but he's a great coach. He's a very great coach, and he just build me up for it because in Jeet Kune Do he's a Sifu, right? So in Jeet Kune Do there's a lot of in the pocket there's a lot of headbutts actually stuff. Everything goes,
everything goes. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's why. I kind of did everything.
Now, what do you want to do as far as your career? Do you want to establish some sort of dominance in Lethwei before you leave and go do something else?
Well, to be honest, the only reason why I would consider go back to MMA would be because I have ego, and I think all fighters have ego, and I want to I would avenge my loss and stuff like that. So, but honestly, I'm super happy with doing this. As my goal was to be champion. Now I've done it, so I don't need 25 belts to be happy.
Right. So, but now how long do you plan on doing this? Yeah, basically you're the beacon right now, and a lot of people are drawn to you because you become the most worldwide famous Lethwei fighter ever. And because of that, you're going to get these guys that come, like the Seth Baczynskis and guys who have fought in other organizations and come to you. Is that what you would like to do?
I'd love that.
Just be that guy and have everybody come to you and challenge you?
Yeah, until I don't have that hungriness anymore.
It would be nice if there was broadcast of this. If more
that's
people
on UFC Fight
it.
Pass now.
Is it really?
My last fight was on UFC Fight Pass.
Shit.
Yes, sir.
Dude, UFC Fight Pass has everything. Huh?
I know. It was
that's amazing.
From Burma. They transmitted from Myanmar.
Wow, that's incredible. Who's doing the commentary? Is that Robin Black?
It was Robin Black. Yeah.
All right, my man Robin. Shout out to him.
He was good. It was epic with this one.
He's excellent. He's excellent.
So actually, next one, hopefully he can make it. It would be in either Wyoming or Florida.
When is it going to be?
June, 100% in June.
100%.
We don't know which state though.
Okay, so there's plenty of time between now and then.
Yeah.
Do you know who you'd be fighting?
No, not yet.
No idea.
So yeah, that's the thing.
So if it's going to be, they're probably going to try to do it on pay-per-view or something, right? Like, does it have anything to do with the bare knuckle fighting guys?
No,
do they have anything to do with it? Different organization.
It's going to be on UFC Fight Pass, I believe, and then people can watch it live there. It's going to be pretty exciting it's the first historic debut of Lethwei. 2,000 years old of sport in the US. I'm so excited.
That is very exciting. Yeah, it's very. It's like there's different styles of MMA, or rather of martial arts, that enter into MMA and become effective. Lethwei, the only thing that's missing is the headbutts from MMA. You have this one element of your game that you wouldn't really be able to.
That's the thing. You know what? I was joking the other day, long time before I received these serious offers from other MMA promotion. I was like, if I go one day, I'm just gonna headbutt the guy and get disqualified, and then it's gonna go viral. It's gonna help the guy. Wow. That's before I
think ONE FC would probably allow headbutts for a fight. Oh,
by the way, ONE FC is actually partnered up with WLC, so they're very friend with the CEO. That's the thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
and it makes sense because they allow soccer kicks on the ground, even inside a cage.
But they actually had a Lethwei not exhibition fight, but Lethwei super fight inside of one of their shows in one championship.
Oh, really?
In Myanmar.
Oh, that makes sense.
So just to showcase the culture. Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I just I feel like if someone like you fought over there, I mean, they have such open rules. I mean, they have Muay Thai fights with MMA gloves. They have regular kickboxing. They have regular Muay Thai.
But they messaged me for that. They wanted me to fight Muay Thai. I don't want to fight Muay Thai.
Okay.
I said I want to fight Lethwei. He said, well, if you want to fight Lethwei, go to WLC. And that's when we started getting along. And
they're doing grappling competitions in ONE FC as well. They seem to be open to almost any martial art.
Yeah, for sure. And also eSports now. Like, that's the future.
What?
He's a good... Chatri is a good fight. He's a good...
They're doing eSports?
Yeah, I saw it at ONE eSports.
No.
He's ahead of the wave, because it's going to be the future.
Wow. What games?
I don't know. Fighting games like Street
Fighting games? Oh, my God. That'd be
so
hilarious
smart.
if it became huge. Would they have UFC and ONE FC?
Fighting each other.
The UFC... No, but I mean, if they had the UFC video game, if they were playing the UFC video game as an esport in ONE FC, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
It really would.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Look at that.
Wait, that's esport?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay.
ONE Championship launches Asia's biggest esport world championship. Wow.
No, Chatri is just
very smart.
A visionary for this. Like,
yeah. Look at the size of that fucking arena. Nothing shocks me more than the massive popularity of esports in terms of as a spectator sport, not in terms of people playing it. I get
look
that.
at the total price, like $500,000, and like for esports. So
no, go to the other side. Go to the other side, Jamie. Let me see that picture. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
That's a game.
Fucking crazy.
World of Warcraft. I don't know.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Playing Dota 2 is what it's called.
What is
I don't know what it
Dota?
stands for. It's a game I don't play. But
So
it's,
we don't even know the game, and they win like $500,000 for this. They're like 14 years old, 15 years old. These guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's real money in video games now. Where parents would say, "You're wasting your time. Go play golf. You can make money. You can make money playing video games."
Do you play games?
I do, but I get addicted to it.
Yeah?
I have real problems.
Like a day nonstop?
You have fucking giant problems. We set up a LAN
Jamie's
room
laughing.
back
Why are you
there.
laughing? It's true?
He knows.
yeah, I just want to see how much he gets into tell you. But yeah,
I'm
serious with it.
I have a real problem.
Are you an extremist? Like, if you do something, you do it like...
Yeah, I got real problems, man.
What's the game you
It's
like?
effective. Like, look, if I want to get good at something, my brain, it's good because my obsessiveness allows me to really concentrate on excellence.
Okay.
But the problem is, like, there's no benefit for me getting really good at Quake Championship. You know, that's the game we're playing, right? Was it Quake?
Quake Champions.
Quake Champions.
Quake Champions.
Yeah,
We were playing.
that's what we're playing. We got a LAN room set up back there, and we play it.
Yeah. So,
Dude,
you heard about Twitch?
Sweaty hand. Yeah, fuck Twitch.
Okay.
We're out there playing, but we're just playing against each other.
Okay, for
you
fun.
know? Yeah, man, but it's not fun.
Okay.
The problem is, I mean,
What's the game?
fun. It's very fun.
What's the game? It's like
a
fighting?
first-person shooter. No, you have rocket launchers and railguns.
Okay.
It's definitely fun. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But what's not fun is the amount of time that it takes and how crazy I get. Where I'm like in the middle of the night, I'm thinking about playing it. Like it'll be 3 o'clock in the morning. I've come down here. Like I had to do something. I worked out. I can't. Like I'll leave my house. I'll come down here to work out. I'll work out at the gym and say, "Fuck it, let me jump online."
Get out.
The next thing you know, I'm here for 4 hours just playing Quake. Yeah,
I understand.
Jamie knows. He's seen it. Look, he's laughing.
Is
He's
it like a
laughing at
real?
me.
Is it monsters or real people?
Well, it's robots and people with like
Okay.
like cyborgs and shit with crazy outfits on. But that's the point. Is it's a first person shooter, so you're in this 3D environment, and it's a mouse and a keyboard, and you're running down these hallways, and there's a lot of strategy involved, a lot of fast twitch movements and aim. But it's very, very addictive, and it's graphically very intense. It's beautiful.
It's crazy how little boys we are. It doesn't matter, right?
Yes. What's up?
One of the companies that makes one of the really big esports games just announced that they're working on their first-person shooter. I think it's their first-person shooter. They did announce the title. They just sort of showed a couple things they're working on. It's gonna, not that you're going to get back into it, but it could get you back into it.
We have it right there, man. I can't do it. I had a quick cold turkey. We were how many months were we going at it every day?
Solid 3, 4.
out.
Every day, man.
Wow.
Hours and hours every day. Jamie laughed. He's like, "You guys put in more time." Me and Jeff, who works here, we're playing so much. We put in more time in like how was it?
Yeah. Like in like 3 or 4, I had the game on my computer at home for about a year, playing it just off and on here and there. Probably put in like 30 or 40 hours over time playing. They passed me in like 3 weeks.
Joe, do you have a problem?
I'm telling you, I got a problem. But I had a problem like that with everything, with jiu-jitsu, with taekwondo, with Muay Thai, everything that I get into. I get into too much. It's a good trait, but as long as you can handle it.
Yeah.
You got to know how to handle it. Like for me, it's like I got to know when to cut things off. Like stop. So for me with the video games, it's like, no, cut it out. because it was just eating. I don't have any time, man, and I have kids, I have a family, and I have 3 jobs. I just don't. I don't have the time for these fucking video games, but I like them too much.
I know. I feel you.
Like them.
Now I got that on my phone on the airplane because we took like literally like 20 airplanes this last couple weeks.
Oh, and you play games on your phone?
Yeah, like Castle Defense. I just like.
I don't have any games on my phone except my kids play games on my phone sometimes. I don't have any fucking.
What do you
games
do on an
my
airplane?
phone.
You just sleep?
I read.
Okay.
I read or I write. I write, comedy material and stuff.
True.
I write things. I'll watch a movie maybe, but I don't play any games. I just don't trust myself.
Okay.
It's just get too addicted,
Quick,
man. Yeah. You should fucking play it with us sometime.
Oh my God.
If we had more time today. Too. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's super addictive.
I think obsession is key for any success.
Yes.
And I think every successful people is eccentric a little bit.
Yes.
I'm fucking weird.
Of
and you're weird
course.
too.
Yeah, we're both crazy.
I think it's important.
I think you have to be crazy to dedicate massive amounts of time to something and be obsessed.
Yeah.
To acquire excellence in anything, I believe it requires a real, genuine obsession where that becomes the primary focus of your life. But when you have a finite amount of time, like I do, because I already have a career, I have things that I must do, and I don't want to slack off and become a bad podcaster and become a bad comedian and fall apart in the other things that I'm focusing on because I'm focusing on a game.
That's true.
I just can't.
Imagine, I know.
Yeah, it doesn't help me. See, jiu-jitsu helps me.
Yeah.
Like when I train, I feel more calm. I get better perspective. I feel like there's something that I gain. And also, you can only do it a certain amount of hours a day. You can't do jiu-jitsu 6 hours in a row. Yeah. You can't. But you can play video games 10 hours in a row, 12 hours in a row. You just keep going.
You heard this guy was like playing video games and
they die. People die. They die. They have fucking heart attacks and die. It's very intense. Like sometimes we leave and I don't even feel good. Like we leave and I feel all fucked up and
you're sad. You're unhappy about yourself. You're like, why did I do this?
You wasted a lot of time, and also like your system is so taxed because it's so intense. And we're talking mad shit to each other. It's a lot of fun. What's up?
Did you see that? Just made me think of this. There an article about the amount of calories that chess masters burn.
Yes, I saw that.
I was just thinking about the same thing, like 7,000 in a tournament or something insane like that.
They lose incredible amounts of weight during these tournaments, and they're just realizing now that this is a calorie thing. That your brain, when you're under intense focus, your brain burns off a shitload of calories.
So that's why I lose a lot of calories, I think.
You're a smart guy, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, but I really think that's the same thing with video games as well. I mean, I get out of here, man. I'm fucking exhausted sometimes when we were in those rambling play sessions.
You should go into that eSports thing.
Fuck that.
Imagine.
There's not enough lives to live, you know? That's why I don't understand when people say they're bored. I'm like, how can you be bored? There's so many things to do.
True.
There's so many things you can get obsessed with.
Yeah. What's your opinion? I wanted to pick your brain on that because me and my wife, we have a pact, okay? And people are going to think we're crazy, but I don't give a shit. We have, since we met in 2016 in Thailand, we never had a night apart. Whoa! I know.
No nights apart at all.
And I loved it because I said I don't know. We have only one life, and I love her to that. She's my life partner. She's my she always believed in me. I think she's the reason why I became champion because prior to meeting her, I was just no ambition, no nothing. I mean, and then. My point is that the reason behind that is that I want to. You need more coffee, eh?
No.
I want to spend as much time as I can because you don't know if there's something after. So. What do you think?
I think you should be happy, and if you're happy doing that, that's great.
I mean, not about that. I'm super happy with that. That's my goal in life is to to have as much time as I can with her. But I mean, do you think because it's so hard?
It's helping?
No, not this. About the afterlife. Like I'm like for like science. I think it leads to that we're gonna just. Cease existing.
Yeah, but that's not science, honestly.
Okay.
Well, science is the study of how the brain works and the study of where the memory is located and what parts of the brain are affected by injury, and studies on fMRI where they're measuring areas of the brain that are active during specific activities. That's real science. There's no real science about what happens when you die. It's pure speculation.
I mean, like body, our physical body. I'm saying we're gonna just it's gonna die, right? And then my point is, I know there's absolutely no science about that, but my point is, I'm doing speculations that if we do stop existing, we do stop living and breathing. what's our essence? Where is it going? Right? Is there an energy? There's a spirit? What, like, it's so hard to say.
Well, no one can really say.
Exactly.
It's pure speculation. And I'm always skeptical of people that think they know for sure nothing happens, as much as I'm skeptical of people that think for sure they know what happens.
Absolutely.
It's just comforting for some people to have an answer, whether it's the lights go out and that's it. I mean, that's Richard Dawkins' perspective.
Oh, yeah? Is it?
Yeah, but other people's perspective. But he's never done psychedelics. And there's like, he's got this very reductionist perspective, scientific based on what we know right now.
So he's adamant that when you die, you die.
Yeah, but that's nonsense. He doesn't know. I mean, you don't know. I mean, I understand that he's a man of science and logic, and this is how he likes to frame the world. But the reality is no one has any idea.
And most people don't want to adhere to that train of thought because it's very scary.
It's also, if you've done psychedelic drugs, you know that there's a very strange thing that can happen to your brain and to your consciousness when it interacts with certain molecules. What is that?
Never tried it.
Well, some people believe that that is a portal to the afterlife, and that what happens when you die and during periods of extreme stress, your brain produces psychedelic chemicals. We don't know what the soul is. What is that a real thing? Is it nonsense? Yeah. We don't know. Is your consciousness? Your consciousness is clearly affected by injury to the brain, and it's clearly affected by age. It's clearly affected by deterioration. It's clearly affected by some exogenous chemicals.
Okay.
But is that you, or is that something that your brain is housing? I mean, what happens when you die? Does it transfer to something else? Does your brain, house consciousness, or does your body house consciousness, or is consciousness a part of it? And when your brain shuts off, there's no activity. Does the consciousness cease? Yeah. Or do you transcend? No one knows. No one really knows.
Penn and Teller, he has what's the big guy's name?
Penn.
Penn. Yeah, I think I like his what he said. He said, "We don't know." That's the real answer.
The real answer is we don't know. Yeah.
Anybody saying other thing that is, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they know something we don't know, but
it's interesting. It's interesting to think of, and there's a lot of people that don't believe that you are the same person every day. There's a lot of people that believe that when you go to sleep, that you wake up in the morning and you assume that all of your memories of your life, they're accurate, and that you are absolutely the person that you were when you went to bed the day before. But you don't even know that.
That's a great.
You don't
never
really
thought about
know that. You know that you have some memories that you can call upon.
Unless you record them like you do.
But even if you record them, like, who the fuck is recording it? Are you sure that's you?
Okay.
I mean, are you the same person? I mean, there's all these ideas of many worlds. These quantum physicists like to bring up that there's a bunch of different interactions that are happening simultaneously, and that it's so hard to even. It's so hard to even. To even conceive of the possibility of multiple dimensions, and then the possibility of infinite universes.
Can I conceive that? Yeah.
That we travel back and forth through all these different things, and that based on the decisions that you make, based on who the fuck knows, an infinite number of variables, that your life moves in a bunch of different directions. The idea of an infinite universe also means there's an infinite number of David Leducs out there.
I know.
That's what's really crazy. There's an infinite number of young Jamies. There's an infinite number of, fill in the blank, Neil deGrasse Tyson's, Mike Tyson, Vander Holyfield. There's an infinite number of them. And they're all doing different things and all slightly different lives.
How was it when you did that, when you did the DMT?
I've done it a bunch of times. It's very strange.
I'm scared of that.
You should be scared.
Okay.
I'm scared.
And what does it look like? What does it look like?
Well, it depends on the purity of it. When you get it really pure, it's almost like a white-looking crystal. Sometimes it's a little bit yellowish. It's more of a yellowish-looking crystal. And you freebase it.
And that's something that our brain creates.
Yes,
secretes.
your brain produces it. It's one of the reasons why your body can bring it back to baseline so quickly. Your body knows what to do with it. It has it. It's a part of your whole chemical system.
How did you come up with? How did you read about this? How did you come up with this?
I don't remember how I first heard of it. I think I heard of it listening to Terrence McKenna talk about it. I think that was the first thing I ever heard of it. And when I first did it, I couldn't even believe. I couldn't believe that this is a possibility, that this is something that exists on Earth that so many people don't even know about.
Did you you need to lock the doors when you do it? Like you need to.
I mean, I did it in my living room with some friends.
Okay.
Sat down.
How long does it last?
About 15, 20
it's
minutes.
short.
It's very
I thought it was
short.
like a 3-day thing. And I'm gonna.
No.
Okay.
It feels like it's 3 days.
Okay.
It feels like forever and then instant. It feels like it just happened, and it also feels like forever. But it's very strange. It feels like you've been there before. When you go there, that's one of the It's like you leave the world. You leave this space, and you go to some incredible dimension that seems more real than this. It's very, very intense.
You think it's like something that people should experience?
I think that's up to people.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
I know we have to be careful what we say to people, but I understand. But yeah,
I used to think people need to do it. I used to think people need to do everything. I think you do whatever you want.
PJJ do everything.
Well, and also having children. There's a lot of people that say you should have children. I don't know about that, man. I think everybody has a different path. I think you can be a complete person without ever having children. I don't think that that's necessary. For me, it was very educational. It helped me a lot. I love it. I'm very happy to be a father. I've learned a lot, but I don't think it's necessary. I think you can be a complete person without a lot of experiences. I think what's more important is like, what kind of experiences are you having with the people that you're around with, and are you being fulfilled? Like if you inherently, like inside of you always wanted to be a chess master, but you never pursued it, you're going to have that regret and that longing for something. For you with Lethwei, if you didn't pursue that, if you didn't go after that, if you instead decided to get a job in accounting or something like that, you would have this longing to do something. And I think everyone has a different makeup, a different psychological makeup, different personality, different interests. And I think there's a lot of people that are interested in things that I have no desire to do. And to them, it's their whole life. And I'm not interested in it at all, but I'm not them. It's like finding out what it is for you. What is it in your life that attracts you? I've been very, very, very fortunate. And one of the things that I've been very fortunate is I would say I'm a risk taker, but it's more that I don't have any interest in doing safe things.
Okay.
In terms of like, I don't have any interest in like taking an easy job, a safe job. I know I'm going to get a paycheck every week. That's never interested me.
Okay.
That seems like prison.
Yeah,
like
me too.
And I've never been able to do it. And I always thought that I was a loser because I couldn't do that, because other people could work hard and they can get a good job and they would get a pension, security. I felt like when I was young, there was something wrong with me that I couldn't do that, because I grew up in New England, and in Boston, everybody worked hard. There's like a hard blue collar sort of environment where I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. Yeah. These guys all showed up for work every day at 7 a.m. I wanted to kill myself.
Did you do it a little bit? Did you try it?
Yeah. I tried it. I did a lot of construction gigs and a lot of different small jobs, but
it's the same reason why I left, because I felt like it was missing something. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to leave.
Yes. Well, that's you, though. Yeah. But look, now you're fulfilled. Yeah. You're a fulfilled person. You're living your life. But that's you. Yeah. For other person, that would be torture. If you had some guy that really just wants to be a mathematician, and someone's like, no, you're going to go to Myanmar. You're going to be a fucking Lethwei champion. You'd be like, what? I'm not headbutting anybody. Yeah. The fuck you're not, man. You better, because they're going to headbutt you. No. You're going to fight in prison. What? I'm not fighting in prison.
For the record, guys, I wasn't incarcerated, by the way. I was invited there.
Who was in prison. But that, everyone has their own path. Some people do you know who Alex Honnold is?
No.
He's the guy who they made that movie Free Solo about. Okay. He's the guy who climbs all these mountains with no ropes.
Oh my God. My friend did it and he fell and he got disfigured, but now it's healing up, but he did it, no rope.
How far did he fall?
I have to show you the picture. It was a bad fall. It looked like he got bitten by a dog. It was like, and I guess they look for a rush. That's an amazing rush they must get.
I think so, but Alex, the way he described it, he said it's not really a rush. He said it's pretty mellow.
Okay.
Because if you get a rush, like you're in trouble.
Yeah, true.
He's like the whole thing, but it's obviously there's something about that intense challenge that's appealing to him that doesn't attract me at all. Not even a little bit. I have no fucking desire.
Imagine.
I don't want to even climb with ropes. but this guy loves it.
Did you do bungee before? Did you try bungee?
No, never done that either. No, fuck that.
Skydiving, no?
No, fuck
Why not?
you. Fuck
you do DMT, but you don't do skydiving.
Some people love it, man. I get it. I get it. Look, my friend Andy, he's a world champion. He holds the world record in wearing one of those wingsuits. My friend Andy Stump.
That was a goal of mine for a while. I wanted to do this.
But he's had a bunch of friends that have died, man. They've had to carry them off the mountain because they fucking hit the ground. You know, guys who have jumped and then they hear a crash and then they realize that guy just slammed into a fucking tree.
He's out.
There's a really horrible video of
They
a
go
guy
close to
slamming
the
into
trees,
a bridge.
Oh,
He was trying to go through a bridge. He was trying to make it through the gap of a bridge and he misjudged and he slammed right into the bridge while these people were on it filming it. You see him come in and he just misjudges it and BAM! He hits the bridge. It's horrific, man.
If he has a strong neck, he's fine.
See, I think everybody is different. Some people are put on this life to be a poet. Some people are put on this life to be an author.
Okay,
Some
describe put on this life.
No, I mean, whoever you are,
Okay.
how you feel, what is the thing that you're drawn to? For some people, it's architecture. They want to build houses. They're fascinated by the construction methods. They're fascinated by design, and they're just really drawn to want to build houses.
Yeah.
Some people want to make music. Some people are drawn to lyrics, and they're drawn to musical notes and bars and changes, and that's their thing. Everybody has some people have many things, you know, and for some people, that's their problem is they have so many things.
Sure.
It's hard to focus on one, but really the key, I think, to happiness in life is being honest with yourself and finding whatever it is that's attractive to you.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that draws you, whether it's animation or sculpture or making clothes. Everyone has a thing.
While you were talking there, I felt like I was in another dimension. It felt like I lost myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
That's the effect you talking about. I was like, I don't know. I'm thinking. I think I'm crazy.
Yeah, you're definitely crazy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Thank you. Of course, you have to be really great at anything.
Don't you
I
get
think
sometimes
you have
like
to be crazy?
You're doing something and then you have the feeling like you don't know. I don't know.
You're carried away.
Yeah.
You're getting carried away in the thoughts. Yeah, I have that all the time, man.
It's a crazy life.
Yeah, it is a crazy life, but it's a really crazy life if you follow your passions.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking crazy boring life if you don't.
Well said.
And there's a lot of people out there that unfortunately, whether it's their family, sometimes your family, they'll try to influence you in a way to get you to do something that's safer. I mean, my own family did that. They were always trying to get me to, the big one was graduate from college, graduate from university, get a degree, have a safe, don't just try to
So how'd you do it?
Comedy.
Because I know Gary Vee is a big proponent of that, like, quit school. And and how do you do, like, because a lot of people are stuck with the parents think. So you just said, fuck it, I'm going to do it regardless.
Yeah, I think my parents gave up on trying to control me very young. I was just, they didn't even want me to do martial arts when I started doing martial arts.
When did you start?
Really heavily when I was 15. I started when I was 14, but really heavily when I was 15. Okay. That's when I just became obsessed with Taekwondo and competing. And at first they didn't want me to do it, but then that was like the first thing that I ever did that made me feel like I wasn't a loser. Yeah. It was like the first thing that I ever did that I got really good at. Good at and like started getting recognition from it and started winning tournaments. And then I realized like, wow, if I focus on something and become obsessed with something, I can get really good at it. Yeah. And so that led to learning how to do that and applying that sort of same energy to other things in life. I think sometimes people just have to find a thing, whatever that thing is that really floats your boat, and then find the time to pursue it and set up your life so that you have the time to pursue it.
And now they're scared sometimes, but if I do this, there's not going to be income around it. But you just have to persevere and money will come. And just everything is possible, I think. And it's crazy but now that I kind of lived it, it's true. You can do whatever. You can do whatever you want.
Well, now do you live in Myanmar now?
No, now we lived in Dubai for a year. Mm-hmm. So we lived in Thailand for 3 years. Then we kind of left for Myanmar for a few months.
What brought you to Dubai?
Yeah, exactly. We went to Myanmar for a few months trying to open a gym. So I want to open the first Lethwei gym. It's on the ice for now. It will happen one day. Leduc Lethwei gym. Mm-hmm. But for now, this and then like. It's very poor, right? It's like 50 years behind Thailand. It's a beautiful, very raw, very rich country. Not rich, like meaning the culture is rich.
Yes.
And then we kind of got there. There's a real estate bubble there. So the place we had was a 2-bedroom apartment, $2,000 a month.
Whoa.
in Myanmar. And it was not even downtown. It was like outside a bit. And so I was like, okay. And then electricity cuts happens all the time. You need a big ass generator. And then when it cuts, you don't have Wi-Fi. I was like, my wife, she's Russian. She really raised her standards of living. So I want to give her the best life possible, right? So then we get a call to do a seminar in Dubai. We go there, and she's like, raining season is approaching, Dave, and when it rains, I don't want to be in Myanmar because then everything stops, right? So I'm like, okay. So imagine and then I paid a deposit on an apartment before leaving the seminar. So it's like you're in Cleveland and you pay for a place because you're there.
So you went to Dubai to do a seminar. You said, all right, we'll stay here for a little bit.
Yeah, it was.
Dubai is very nice, right?
Yeah. But it's a bit like, for me, it's a bit like fake. Like
Fake?
It's a concrete jungle. I mean, the best way to put it. Nothing grows there. Nothing organic. There you get the raspberries and they perish in a few days. Like it's
it's the desert, really.
Yeah, nothing grows.
Yeah,
but it's cool if you want to party like Mayweather. You just go there and you party. And
does Mayweather party in Dubai?
Everybody does.
Does it? Yeah.
Rappers, everybody.
I've only been there once for the weigh-ins. Yeah, there was a fight.
yeah.
There was a fight in Abu Dhabi, and we had the weigh-ins in Dubai, and we went there for a day. But I remember seeing. No, I didn't go to that one. This was several years ago when Anderson Silva fought Damian Maia.
Okay.
And I remember thinking, man, there's fucking Ferraris everywhere and Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces. A lot of money.
Yeah.
Dubai has a lot of money.
You know, this crazy thing is that you get a nice car. Like I have a sponsor there. I drive cool cars. I'm not a big material. McLaren.
You got a McLaren?
Not me. Is my sponsor.
Which one?
The 320 something S. I'm not sure.
You don't even know what it is.
I don't care.
Jesus.
I'm not a materialist guy. Like
what?
I found my sandals on the floor. Like I still
found them.
I don't like. I give
all my money to my wife.
Probably somebody else's. Yeah, it was. They had holes in it, so I think he actually. I really don't care about clothing. Like this is a T-shirt from a fan, and Anyway, I'm not a very big materialist.
So you have a sponsor that gave you a McLaren to drive.
Yeah, when I'm there. Yeah. So now we actually left there, and now
Dubai.
And now we bought a place in. We have a house that we want to grow there in Cyprus. So now we live in Cyprus.
Where's Cyprus? That's outside of France.
It's Mediterranean. So next to Jordan, Egypt, Turkey. It's like the most eastern country in Europe, in EU.
What brought you there?
You know what? And it was I was in Dubai with my wife. Like, I don't see we can have kids here. It's a bit like, everybody, they're gonna grow with bad values. I believe it's all about materialistic. About everything is about the money. You want a car, you need to pay to have the 111. It's $1 million for that. Like, it's all just bad values, I believe, for me.
Oh, you mean the license plates?
Yes.
Oh, 111 license plate is.
So it's not enough to have a nice Rolls Royce. You need to have the one. So that's an extra $1 million right
That's
there.
hilarious. They pay $1 million for the license plate? What a bunch of dipshits.
Thank you.
That is the dumbest fucking thing. Who gives a fuck what your license plate says? $1 million? That's when you're running out of shit to buy. And you start, like people buy exclusive things. Mm-hmm. There's only 3 of these purses. Like, well, they should make more.
It's so not important in our human life. Like, it's so not important. But
the license plate thing is so weird. They have an issue with that in the United States. They have an issue with people from other countries that bring their cars over here. Okay. Like really rich people from Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah.
They call it Saudi Arabian summer because in summer in Saudi Arabia it's so fucking hot that summer in America seems like nothing. So summer in LA, which gets to be 105 degrees, they fucking spit on that. They laugh at that. Like, that ain't shit. Yeah. So they bring these expensive cars like Lamborghinis and Ferraris
to
and shit.
save them from the summer.
And when they bring them over here, with Saudi Arabian plates. So they have like embassy plates and they have like consulate plates. And, it became an issue in parts of Beverly Hills because like they're not even registered and they're not even registered in America.
And they go back after or what?
I don't know what the fuck they do, but they're driving these things around. Like I was at a hotel in Beverly Hills. I went to a restaurant there and there was a car that was parked there, like a Lamborghini that had a like Saudi Arabian license plate. I'm like, this is crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you have a Saudi Arabia plate in America? Like, how the fuck does this even get over here? Random. And the guy was saying, no, it's like the whole thing about license plates. It's like a sign of opulence that they're able to ship their vehicle from there, not buy a car here and register it here, but ship it from there.
They drive their own car here. That's what it is.
They bring it over here on a boat.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they load their shit up on boats, have it brought up here. They pick it up at the dock and then drive it around with Saudi Arabian plates. Like
status, I guess.
when you deal with things like oil money, I think it gets to this level that you and I will never understand.
No.
A level of money that just
You're
doesn't.
born into it too.
Yeah.
But like again, I'm also a bit grateful because the highest suicide rate is in trust fund babies. People are born with too much and they never worked for it, so then they're unhappy. So I think it's okay to work for your goals. You feel more happy with it.
I think so too.
To go back to what we said, like we just Googled with my wife. We were in Dubai. We just Googled. So where we want to live. So I said, what's important for us? No snow. So we just Googled what's the best weather in the world. We had the luxury to say that, so I said cool. We Googled it. It gave us Spain, Cyprus, and Costa Rica. Costa Rica was a bit too like
a lot of bugs, monkeys, crocodiles.
Cyprus.
So what's it like in Cyprus?
It's like amazing.
What language do they speak?
Greek and English. It used to be Greek. It's a Greek, and actually Turkish invaded 4 years ago. So half the island is Turkish.
Wow.
They took it back from like years ago. They said, it's our part of the island. So they took half of the island, and the other half, the north, is all Greek. Beautiful.
So did you learn Turkish? Did you learn Greek?
No, they speak English
just
pretty well.
Speak English, yeah.
And actually, half the people there, it's 1 million people in the island. That's the country, 1 million people in the country. And most of it are Russian. So my Russian is getting pretty good.
Oh, and your wife speak Russian as well?
She's born there.
Oh, that helps.
But she taught me, so...
Wow, that's you lived an international life, my man.
The nomad.
Yeah, you're all over the fucking place.
You too. You travel everywhere.
Yeah, but so now when you're training, you're training in Cyprus? Do you have your own gym?
That's the hard part. That's the hard part. So right now, in my last training camp, I came back to Canada in Montreal with Sifu Patrick. We trained hard, and then. Now I'm like, where am I going to do my next training camp? I have to fly maybe because the high level of striking in Turkey. Glory. I have a friend that fought, so I'm like, maybe I'm just going to fly the guy for a month. Train with me in Cyprus and then fight, but if the fight is in June in the States, I will actually probably do my training camp again with my bad note guys.
Yes.
In Montreal. I think I will do my training camp in Montreal again.
And that's good too because it'll be the spring. It'll be fairly warm.
Oh, yeah, true. I don't want snow, man.
I get it, man. I grew up in Boston. I get it, which is not as cold as Montreal though.
Okay.
Like your area is Quebec is quite a bit colder.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that Boston was cold, and then I went up to Montreal in December.
In December,
and I was like, "What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
This is real cold. That's next level cold."
Yeah, you don't have a Boston accent though.
No, I got rid of it.
Okay.
I heard myself on TV. I won the Bay State games when I was 19, and I heard myself on TV, and I was like, "Oh my god, that fucking accent's
what's
gotta
it, like
go."
Boston?
Pack your car.
Okay.
You're working really hard. There's it's a weird accent. It's a strange.
Every accent is weird. Australian is weird too. You know, everything. I think everything foreign to us is weird.
But Boston is particularly gross when women have that accent.
Okay.
It's just like some accents are hot with women. Like English is hot. Georgia, Texas, that's
Russian.
hot. Russian's hot. Boston's gross.
Yeah,
it's gross. Even New York is better than Boston. Something about Boston is just like when women have it. Men can have it. It's cool. It reminds me of my friends. I like it.
Yeah.
I like when I hear it on men, but I hear it on women. Maybe that's what the problem is. It reminds me of girls that I dated when I was young.
That's why.
Like, oh, let me get the fuck away from you.
You touched it right there. Yeah. That's what it is.
Where you going?
So this is crazy.
So when you're that will be definitely your next fight will be in June
in the States.
100%.
I'm so excited for this.
So you have a lot of time to think about that, man. We're only here, it's not even November yet.
So then actually now I'm in the middle of the my you stole my name, Joe. I called it the Dave Leduc experience.
Well, I stole it from Jimi Hendrix.
I stole it from Gary.
He had it before I was born. Hendrix had the Jimi Hendrix experience. I think in the late '60s.
It's good. It's fucking good.
Yeah,
but you're it's a worldwide brand now. It's amazing what you've built. It's crazy. Congratulations.
Thank you. I don't know how it happened. It just happened.
Well, you're a personal guy. Everybody loves you. You deserve it.
Well, I think it's one of those things. You just keep doing it. Mm-hmm. If you just keep doing things, you just get better at doing it.
Consistency, and I need your advice on that because I started a thing called Lethwei Tuesday. I did 35 episodes, and while I was in Asia, and I was killing it, and it was pretty cool. But then
what is it? Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah,
I got a decent amount of views, not your views, but like.
But is it instructional?
Yeah.
Is it,
so it was when I was doing my first fights. I was teaching the headbutts and the culture, and I'm gonna start it again. But
is it on YouTube right now? Pull some of that up.
Yeah,
Jim.
go on the how to build your hands. They might like this one.
Build your hands.
It's like a 2-minute video.
What do you do?
So my push-ups, it's basically you can do some push-ups on your knuckle with some like micro jumps to create some like get used to that.
Micro fractures. Yeah.
And then finger push-up for all the tendons, the ligaments.
Well, you're doing that. You're doing it with these knuckles. You're not even doing it with the front too?
Yeah, I guess it depends. If I do my tricep, it would be those two. Yeah, I just sit on the table. It's hard to say.
That's the thing about that they would always tell you in karate or anything else when you're punching that if you're going to punch with bare knuckle.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but
if you listen.
Yeah, that's all fucked up, huh? They get hard as shit. Are you using anything to use like a Makawara or something be pounding on something?
I actually want to save my hand as much as possible. Because I either getting so fucked up for the fights, I put my hands in the ice bucket after every fight. So I just like save them, but I do these inflammation. But then these and then on the wrist.
Yeah.
Have you tried these ones on the wrist?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah,
so you do fingertip push-ups, knuckle push-ups, and then wrist push-ups.
And more.
So this is...
that's a little high.
How to
maybe
build
the
your
beginning.
hands.
You can show the beginning a little bit. That's for people.
Cool video too, though.
That's Tutu. That's me and Cyrus.
Just let this roll, Jamie, so we can see some of this.
So headbutt right there. Boom.
Boom.
That's boom.
Damn.
And then the knee here.
That's a nice knee. Now, did Cyrus try to headbutt you? Did he?
He couldn't. It was a one-sided fight completely.
So he didn't. Did he prepare for?
Yeah, he was a veteran.
Like that?
He went to Myanmar before me. So that you spoke about it last time. I think so. That was me and Tutu. That's my fake roundhouse to sidekick.
Oh, nice.
Super annoying. But
that's a good move, man. Fake roundhouse to sidekick for especially for a long, tall guy like you.
But anyway, so that's what else. That's the push-ups. And
so
everything.
do you punch the bag bare knuckle a lot with no wrist wraps or anything like that?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, the one you see the good quality of video. That's Jeff. Jeff Sandler. He was here with Israel. He's Israel's personal guy.
Oh, it's with Israel Adesanya.
Yeah, man. We met me and Jeff in Tiger at the time. So I was I missed those high quality videos. Now I would do it on my phone, I think.
Well, it's interesting because you're one of the only guys that speaks English that's talking about this, that's talking about this sport and that competes in this sport and is a champion of this sport. I mean, as far as like the history of the sport, you're probably one of the really the only guys who's an English speaker that's been a champion.
Yeah. So the ligament, the push-ups on the hands, I think it's a very hard. When I do it in my seminars, people have a hard time doing it, and I think it's key because if you do, like, if you fight with no gloves, with only gauze, it really you can feel it fucking training. Yeah. Basically, if you hit the teeth or something. You need to have, you don't want to get this because why I started doing these is because I fought in Japan in my second fight in Japan. And I was always like a dream of mine because of Street Fighter, right? Super Nintendo Street Fighter, and like Japan, when
right.
So I was like, I was always thinking like either Guile, the American, or Sagat, and then that's the one that's on the knuckles. So you do some little jumps, and wait, I'm gonna tell you right away. I think.
What is that surface? Is that concrete?
Yeah, that's concrete. Yeah. For the craziest stuff, like you do some. This is not. It's not very pleasant. This one, but it's
interesting. And you're not using the front two knuckles.
Well, I guess. I mean, the big one touches. If you look on the
big one in the middle, but not the far.
When I fight, you're right. But when I fight, it's only the big one that pops out anyway. I don't. But
and have you broken your hands fighting Lethwei?
No. No. I actually was going there. So when I fought in Japan, the second round, I dislocated my finger. It was pretty bad, like broken, dislocated, and my corner man, he's a former golden belt guy, doesn't speak a word of English again, and I'm like, pop it out so I can at least I can close my fist and finish the fight.
Right.
So he doesn't understand nothing, and you can see like it's pretty bad. So I ended up fighting the whole fight like this.
Oh no!
Like I couldn't close it. So I'm like, okay, and then but I'm thankful it happened because that was the first fight I landed like my elbows and my first headbutts. My first solid headbutt.
Because you had an injury.
I had no choice. I couldn't do my cross. I couldn't do my cross anymore.
Right.
So elbows, headbutts.
Did you try to pull it out yourself?
I didn't know at the time. I tried it, but it was the doctor he used a lot of force to do it.
Ugh.
I think it wasn't. So I didn't want to make a big scene out of it because all the Japanese people watching it, they knew about it because the commentator was talking about it.
Yeah.
It's like David-san fingers, but my Turkish opponent. He didn't know, so I was like, I don't want to, so. Yeah. But yeah, it was. We finished the fight, and it was. Now I'm like, it never will happen again. I started training these.
So what do you do in the off season? So if you don't have a training camp, if you don't have someone coming to you to get you prepared for a fight, you don't have a fight until June. You want to stay sharp. So what kind of work are you doing?
Well, it's funny. After we're done today, I'm gonna go with Gokor. I'm gonna do a private with him.
Interesting.
I like to stay sharp with this.
So you're gonna learn leg locks and all that kind of shit?
Our school, the Path Martial Art, is actually affiliated with Gokor Hayastan Academy in Montreal and Gatineau, Quebec.
Well, Gokar's Academy is one of the very first around this area and even in the country that was concentrating on leg locks. A lot of those guys were killer leg lock guys.
With I think Manny Gaborian and I think he trained Ronda Silva as well, Anderson. So I really like him, and he's I think he's 56, he's still competing.
Gokar still competes? Does it really?
He did like the master not long ago.
Interesting.
Anyway, so I'm gonna go there, but I try to right now, like on the tour, especially on the tour right now, I can't even. I did some weights in the hotel room, but like we do a state every day.
Oh wow! So you're just worn out.
So tonight we're leaving for Texas, then New York, then Indiana.
When you get back to Cyprus, so what do you do to stay sharp? Because you don't have a gym there, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a gym that you train at in Cyprus?
We are in our place in the basement. We have a full-on gym, like private, not as cool as you, but not as big. But I have everything that I need. And then,
but you don't have sparring partners.
That's the thing.
You don't have someone to hold pads.
Yeah, I would have. I'm gonna because we just literally moved in. I bought the place a month ago. We dropped the luggage and we left for the tour.
That seems so crazy though for a guy who's a world champion and a professional fighter to not be in a place that has professional trainers.
But there's
elite fighters.
Because I want to. I am a big proponent of like I want to have fun. I want to relax. I want to enjoy life, grow old with my wife.
Sure.
So I feel like this is one of the best. America is an amazing country, but I feel this is the best country, like because there's no traffic. LA, there's a lot of traffic, right?
You think? Crazy, huh?
So no traffic, good food. You walk in the streets in Cyprus and you can pick olives. Literally, we made a test. Olives, and I gave it to my wife. Then a date, then a fig, then everything. We had about a million fruits in a 10-minute walk. It's free on the street.
Just growing off trees.
Yeah, organic. So I'm like, this is cool. You know, it's fresh and and also I studied because I want to live as long as I can. Because again, we don't know what's going to happen after. So I'm like, in Japan, one of the islands has one of the highest longevity. You know, they die late.
Yes.
So because they're near a body of water and they have a lot of seafood.
Right.
So I want to be on a body of water, and this is an island.
Right.
So yes.
Well, it sounds like the quality of life is beautiful there, but the only thing that I would be concerned with is that training.
I know.
And then and also sparring partners.
I know.
And someone to hold pads, someone to coach you.
I know. But that's what right now so far it's been amazing. Like I said, I've been in Dubai and all my training camps back in Canada were good. But now you're right. After in January we go back, I'm going to film my academy, like my videos. Which is also going to take a big part of it. And then I have to stay sharp. So I'm going to have to look around and see what the gyms are. I didn't even look into it yet.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. But
Turkey has a lot of high-level fighters.
It's a 30-minute flight.
Yeah, and even wrestlers and a lot of... So it's a 30-minute flight to Turkey. Well,
I might do that.
Yeah, and maybe you could fly people to come to you. But that's one thing. It seems like now that your profile is getting bigger, people would probably be more willing to come to you to train, to learn, and then train with you.
It's just the thing is like, I viralize, or I put on a high esteem quality of life. You know, I want to. Yes, fighting is cool, but I'm 27, and maybe I'm going to retire at 35. Let's say, right? Like I'm going to do as much as I can, but like the rest, the other 70 years after that, if I live until 105, right? The other it's not gonna be. I'm not gonna be competing in the ring anymore. So I value that a lot because it's the biggest part of my life, right?
Yeah,
I've only been fighting professionally since 2013. So. But yeah, is
that the goal? 35? Is it the goal?
I think it's perfect.
Yeah, it's good.
More than that, I think I don't know, maybe because I'm actually excited to see when I'm going to hit 30, my testosterone, like, you know, I'm going to be stronger at 30, 31, 32. Well,
you'll definitely be smarter. You know, that's the thing that happens in terms of life experience. You know, you have enough. I mean, they say the best fighters are really in their early 30s because their body is still strong, but their experience level is much higher.
Okay.
So, like when you're 20, you might be stronger or faster, but you don't know as much. You don't have as much experience. Your technique is not as sharp. And as you get older, you just develop more experience, as long as you're dedicated and focused.
Yeah.
But then again, the thing that I'm saying is the one thing that I would be concerned with is the lack of time training in a high-level environment, which I think is one of the most crucial things.
Yeah. So far, I've not had that problem, but when I'll be like actually moving there, I need to fly some guys, and
But you got to let us know when you do fight, and it's in the United States. We'll promote it. We'll let everybody know, and hopefully you'll have an opponent that people will recognize as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I would be a good fight.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Yeah. But so what's your Okay, perfect. Yeah. I actually have something. When Jamie, last time you did the Chinlone video, you shared a video of two guys kicking the balls over their head. Remember? The feet?
Yeah. That crazy sport. Yeah. It's like volleyball with your feet.
Yeah. So this is it's Southeast Asia, and they have that. I have the ball with me for you.
So
look at that.
What's the ball they use?
It's
that's it. Wow, that's crazy.
You can see it.
That's the ball that they kick.
Yeah, and
wow,
and you can. It looks strong. It looks hard, but you can do headbutts with this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Because that's what they do. Like, you can use all your body.
Light. Yeah.
Traditional Southeast Asia sport, sepak takraw.
Man, watching those guys is incredible. The leg dexterity.
Yeah, no.
What is the game called again?
It's in Myanmar. It's called Chinlone. When they go in circle, that's
sepak takraw. Wow. It's amazing watching those guys. Oh, they're playing on a court.
Yeah,
I've only seen it played on the grass and outside. Oh my God! Look at these fucking guys. That's incredible. Look at the fucking flexibility. That's insane.
I know.
Oh my God, that is incredible. Wow! Look at this dude. Oh shit! Look at that kick.
That's Malaysia. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's super popular in Southeast Asia, and they flex it, and you can use your head too.
Wow, what a sport!
So they Myanmar, like, it's part of the culture. After every training, we go in a circle and we do that. So it kind of helps you, get.
Oh yeah.
And
your flexibility, I'm sure.
So I don't know if you can see on YouTube. There's one. Dave. It's in my video. It's like Dave in Myanmar, and I've tried it. And I can only do my with my right leg, like a hacky sack, and my headbutt. That's it. You can see maybe Dave in Myanmar or something. There's in my, and they use their legs like crazy, and I think it helps you. I think become a better fighter. I believe.
Oh, I would imagine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cool.
The leg, just the dexterity and flexibility and range of motion those guys have. I mean, they're almost like. It's like watching a ballerina / kickboxer play soccer with their feet, but you're playing volleyball.
Yeah. And this is plastic, but usually it's made of a rattan.
Oh, okay.
Like some kind of bamboo something.
Yeah.
And but at first, it doesn't hurt.
Right.
But I now I can enjoy it. Like last time I did a seminar, and I actually I made them play a little bit. Oh. It's just part of the culture because it's cool. Yeah. It's
a pretty wild game. And that's a very popular game over there?
Yeah, everywhere. In the street, I usually, when I'm walking with my wife, and she's like, oh, not again. I see a couple, locals playing. I just stop. I drop everything. I put my lungi up, because I always wear my lungi, and I start playing with them. And they're all excited, because, oh, shit, they do some pictures. And
so you a big celebrity over there? Like, when you walk down the street, do people recognize you?
Yeah. They love us there. It's pretty cool. But again, I really like them. They're so kind. Like, honestly, have you traveled in Asia a lot?
Thailand. And that's how I felt. Everyone was so nice there.
Okay, well, but imagine 40 years before that, when they were untouched by tourism. Even
that's how Myanmar is.
Yeah. So they kind of they shake your hand like this. Give me your hand. Like, they shake your hand.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
Yeah, that's my video. I was in the forest with them, and the guy in the red was he's sponsored by the country to play that. So
wow.
It's like we're going to see that. Yeah, he's good.
This is a wild fucking game.
But that's the lungi. You see, I tied it up, but then you have to lift it up like this. Oh, it's so cool that you have that video. And you lift it up, and then if you have your leg tats, then you show your war tats, right?
Ah, I see.
So this
is before you had leg tats too.
Yeah, before. I look naked almost.
Wow.
Look, the head. Yes, that's the only strike I can do in sepak takraw. They play that all the time.
It seems like there's a steep learning curve to this game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, headbutt right there.
Yeah. Pretty crazy game, man.
So that's and you see the Tanaka under skin.
Yes,
that's his. This is specific from Myanmar, and it's a root that they break up, and it's good for SPF, and it's really. And it makes your skin better, so it's. And
so they rub it on their face.
Yeah,
so
and they have such a soft skin. It's crazy. I think it helps. It helps nice skin. Yeah.
Well, listen, David, thanks for coming by, man, and let us know when June rolls around, when the fight is set. Yeah. You know how people can watch it. Yeah. Will it be on pay-per-view?
Yeah, I believe it's going to be on UFC Fight Pass. I'm not sure for pay-per-view yet.
Okay.
But super
it
excited.
will be on UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah. Hopefully you can talk about it. It's going to be.
We definitely will.
Pretty cool. Historic debut.
All
Thanks
right,
for having me, Joe.
Thank you, Thank you. Appreciate it, man. It was fun. Really fun having you on. Bye, everybody.
That was good.